guys, how you doing? Nice to have you in the stream. Over 100 in already. Good to have you. Nearly never made it tonight. I was just out with a dog. You know, I used to do the streams at 9 o'clock, and for some reason, it was in my mind that I was starting at 9. And I was way up the road with Benji on his walk, and Damon just called me. He said, "I just got home from work. It's 7:30." I'm like, "What?" He says, "Yeah, it's 7:30." I just cut Benji's walk short. I just about made it. Jumped in the shower, and anyway, here we are. I just want to say hi. Before I say hi to anywhere else, I had his message. Now I've lost it. Is it? Hang on. Oh my God, where is it? Hang on. There we are. I'll put that up there. Yeah, Ian Lloyd. Hi from Barton Seagrave. Ian, I believe that was you on the bike the other night with a stripy shirt on. If it was you, good to meet up with you very briefly. I had met your Chinese wife about a week earlier. She was out with the dog. She said hello to me. Very nice lady. I couldn't stop and talk. I was actually on the phone with Franco. And but next time, if I'm not on the phone and I bump into you, we'll have a proper chat. But thanks for saying hello to me anyway. Okay, right. Let's see who's in the stream tonight. As always, right. Martin Ryder, living the dream in HCM. Where's that? That's Ho Chi Minh City, isn't it? Good on you, Martin. Still in the stream. So you must be a good 5-6 hours ahead, Martin. Tony Adby. Good morning, Peter, and the Monger Premier League from sunny Queensland, Australia. Looking forward to an interesting 2 hours plus. I've got a really good stream lined up today. I've got the Ladyboy competition. I've got the Spot the Thai Girl as usual, but I've got another competition that I'm going to do just as a one-off. This time there's 8 girls, and you have to pick the one that isn't a Thai. The rest of them are all Thais, but I'll tell you more about that at the time. Thank you, Marky Mark. I believe we're going to maybe cross paths in Bangkok soon. Hey, Peter, have you given any more thought to the timing of your live stream when you move to Thailand? I'm thinking that 2 a.m. wouldn't be any fun. Yeah, I'm out in Thailand, Mark. Thanks for the super chat, first of all. I'm out in Thailand in less than 2 weeks now. I still haven't made up my mind whether I'm going to be out there for 2 months or 3 months. I've got somebody who's very, very interested in my house. The problem is his buyers dropped out, but he sold it in a week. And if he sells it again, he definitely wants this one. So I'm fingers and toes crossed. I think, you know, for the 2 months, I think I'm going to do it at the same time. I think what I'll probably do is do it 10 p.m. UK time, because I believe the clocks are going forward at the end of this month. So that, I mean, we're 7 hours ahead in Bangkok. If I go live at 10 p.m. your time, that'll be what? 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Is it 4, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, 5 in the morning. So I'll get up at 4 o'clock and I'll do a live stream at 5 a.m. from Bangkok. I'll be sitting in a hotel room. I can't exactly go anywhere at 5 o'clock in the morning. And when I'm there full time, I am going to have to rethink it. I really don't know. It's a tough one, but thanks for that, Mark. Right, Mike, how you doing, mate? Good to have you in. Good evening, Peter. I hope your week was good. Not long now before you head off to the land of smiles. Looking forward to some banter tonight. It should be a good stream tonight, Mike. Got lots lined up. Joke of the week, the Monger Minute, the usual Friday night stuff. Wasn't Rob a good guest on Sunday? Do you remember, if you were here last Sunday, we had Rob, the black cab driver, and the stream went down. If it goes down again tonight, guys, hang on in there. I will be back. But the stream went down, and most other people would have got nervous and just turned it off. And he actually kept it going, and I didn't lose any viewers. So well done to Rob. But he turned out to be a very good guest. Actually, you never know. Okay, Donald Trump. Good evening, sir. As usual, local president in the house. Big tinge. Hi, Pete. How are you getting on? You are counting down the days. I am. Yeah. Wutong life again. I just back from Thailand 5 days ago. And for my birthday in Feb, I have a choice to make. Take a 10-day Caribbean cruise to 5 countries, including Colombia, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, or go to Thailand. Well, it's a no-brainer. It's Thailand, isn't it? Every time. But I'm biased. Ryan Seeger, good evening. All Peter, 16 days till I get in Pattaya. Yeah, well, I'm there. I'll be in Pattaya on the 10th to the 11th, only for 6 days. I don't know what I'm doing after that. A lot of people have come onto the stream and said, look, hey, I'll be out there in October. I'll be out there in November. Let's meet up and have a beer. Look, you know, I'm not going to do any sort of get-togethers or anything like that. But if you see me make a video and I'm in Bangkok and you're in Bangkok, drop me a message. And, you know, there's no reason we can't meet, if not in the day, at least for a coffee or something in the daytime. Okay, Wutong Life, let's put that up there. You said, to be honest, Pattaya was pretty dead. So was Phuket. The taxi mafia was all over me every time I step out of the hotel. Most of the girls are working in bars, not freelancers, not many young ones. Okay, so a couple of things there. Before I say hi to everybody else, let me just read a couple of things out here. They are trying to clean up the taxis. There's a small article here. Look, I wasn't going to do this so early, but just as you brought it up now, it says the tourist Police Bureau has advised passengers rejected by taxi drivers to take photos of their license numbers and report them through the Bureau's 1155 hotline. A Bureau spokesman said drivers who refuse passengers are damaging the national tourism industry and reputation. He added that tourist police will work with officials from the Department of Land Transport to punish such drivers for the lack of professionalism under the Land Traffic Act. Taxi drivers who reject passengers face a fine of up to 1,000 baht and possible revocation of their driver's license. Uncooperative taxi drivers can also be reported to the Land Transport Department Public Passenger Protection Centre by dialing 1584 or with the traffic police via 1197. But you know what? Let's put that in reality. You know, there you are. You're sitting in your taxi outside Asok at 2 a.m. You've had a few beers and he doesn't want to put the meter on. You get your camera out and you start snapping his license in the car. You think he's just going to sit there and do nothing? And then when you call any of them numbers, you don't speak Thai, most of you, I guess, like me. I don't really speak a huge amount. You know, you're going to have some kid at the end of the phone. I don't know. I might be cynical, but I think if it was me, I'd just get out of the taxi and, you know, move on, as it were. To be, not to be. Happy Friday, Peter and fellow mongers. Lee's, good evening. Yeah, Pierre. Hey, Peter, looking forward to the stream. Yeah, thank you. Thailand fan. Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. So glad you didn't cancel for the football. Thailand fan, you know I'm not a football fan. I'm one of those kind of a bit unusual people. I've never been into football, so I don't even know it's on. We've got over 200 in, so obviously not everyone's a football fan. J Marge, is it? Hi, how you doing? I'll put that up there because I don't think I pronounced your name. J Madge, I think it is. How you? Nice Thailand flag in the background. STE Billabo, Nat and Dave. Yeah, you like that. Carl D, hello guys, looking forward to this one. John Campbell, hi Peter from Hua Hin. 10 days left on this holiday, but back again in November for 3 months. Yeah, a lot of people been out, coming back now. I was speaking to Bob Jeer today. He, that's unusual. Dutch Frank's just become a member. Do you know what? Dutch Frank's been in this stream. It must have been at least 2 years, and he's finally become a member. So I'm going to put the new member list up here because I had quite a few last week, thanks to Capio 17 or the other cat. I get them confused. But let me put this up. And now also welcome to Dutch Farang, okay? And I'll put the currencies up in a minute. I nearly forgot them. James Casey, how you doing? Jeremy Slay. Hi, Peter. Can you give a shout out to my mate, Zimmy, finally over a stomach bug he spent 3 weeks ago in patio bed. Yeah, okay. Hi, Zimmy. Glad you're over the stomach bug. There's your name up there. And that's from Jeremy. Okay, super nice. How you doing? Hi from Oslo, beautiful country, Norway. I did a stint in Bodø. I probably pronounced it wrong. It's Bodo, over the Arctic Circle. I had a great time there. The only thing is super nice. It was really hard. You come out of a nightclub at 3 o'clock in the morning. Not only is it daylight, but it's bright sunshine for 6 months or whatever it is. And it's the other way in the winter, isn't it? But I had a great time. 85, I believe it was, long time ago. Right. Who else we got in tonight? Bread and butter. How far behind these am I? 8 or 7. Yeah, I'm about 5 minutes behind. I'll jump forward in a bit. Just seen the Steady Eddie video. Hope you two can patch things up. Where did you get that from? I hope you two can patch it up. Patch what up? He didn't name names or anything like that. I'm going to clear this up really, really quick now, guys. The same as you, I don't know anything. Okay, somebody sent me the video. I watched it and I thought, oh, okay, so he's upset about something. Is it me? I don't know. Is it somebody else? I don't know. But why do you assume me and him have got a problem? We haven't. He's the sort of guy, I've got his contact details. He's got mine. He's the sort of guy, he would get onto Facebook, write me a private message and say, hey, and I would respond. And if I'd made a mistake, I'd apologize. But as far as I know, me and Ed get on really well. We've done streams together. So I don't really appreciate messages like that because it kind of starts to spread rumors, doesn't it? Okay, I'm not going to say anything more than that. I don't know any more than you guys do. Right, Deke the Trucker, how you doing? Hi, Peter, I'm back again, but still struggling with a 6-hour time difference. Yeah, it's worse when you go the other way, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. Okay, the Thai baht is getting stronger against the pound. I don't know if it's the pound's getting weaker or the Thai baht's getting stronger. The US dollar is doing really, really well. If you're an American, your dollar goes a long way. It's nearly as much as a pound now. You're getting 37 baht to the pound. I remember it was 30 baht just a few years ago you got for $1. Now it's 37. We've dropped down. I spoke to Bob again. He went to the Arab quarter, which pays the most for that area. If you don't want to head down to Super Rich in Terminal 21. And he said he got something like, let me see what he said it was. Yeah, he said something like 41.80 satang or something, so less than 42. When I was there 3 years ago with my wife, I got 36. Especially now that I'm going out for such a long time, 2 to 3 months. I probably won't come back till January. I'm going to kind of have to watch my pennies. I mean, prices are through the roof in Bangkok. Bob went to Nana Plaza last night with a friend, and I'm going to read out a couple of prices. Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, right? Now, this isn't in a go-go bar. This is when you walk into Nana Plaza, they've got a few beer bars. This is prices in those beer bars, okay? Not go-go bars, okay? Right, so if you want to pay a bar fine for a short time, it's 700 baht from a beer bar, right? And you will be asked for 3,000 baht for somebody to accompany you back to your hotel room to have a game of Connect 4, because they all play Connect 4, don't they? 3,000 baht. So if you think about 3,000 baht, 700 for the bar fine, plus a couple of ladies' drinks while you were chatting her up in there, in your business. So you're talking UK prices. It's cheaper here than it is there now, especially in Nana Plaza. And he was saying some of the ladies' drinks, they were asking 200 and 300 baht for ladies' drinks. I'm guessing that's doubling up, they're doing the usual games. Outrageous. Okay, let me get rid of that for a while and then we'll put that up later. Okay, Slumber Incorporated, evening fellow mongers. Mark Hanley, let me whiz through these now because I'm behind. Mickey P, yeah, you're right, the pound fell again. Yeah, Dutch Franks. Peter, has it been 2 years already? It has, and I noticed you're in a lot of streams, so I know you don't join them all, so it's good to have you in as a member at last. I mean, the membership, really, you get, you get the little mojos and things, but most guys kind of join just to kind of show their appreciation, which I appreciate them doing. I don't know, I'm going to have to do something with the memberships in the future when I'm in Thailand. I'm just still trying to think. Okay, who else we got? Mark Hanley, Prior 9, so Michael DiCaprio. Hi Peter from Swansea. You're starting buffering again. Well, I'm on that screen and it looks okay at the moment. I can't do anything more than I've done. I'm on the fastest connection you can get. I've got a wire plugged in the back of the modem. The problem is I got my daughter upstairs. She's watching cable TV, and my wife will be soon as well. So hopefully, let's see. Most weeks it's okay. Just stick with it, guys, if you can. Nomi Inspector, how you doing? Yeah, I'm a bit of a Nomi inspector myself. The problem with Bangkok is the exploitation of the tourists. Yeah, they've got a funny way of thinking about things. Like I said to you last week, their kind of mentality is like, well, we've lost so much during the 2-year pandemic. We need to now put all our prices up to try and recuperate that. And people just aren't buying ladies' drinks and they're watching how many beers they have. I told you, Hooters. I like Hooters. I don't get hassled in there. It's a nice place to shit. That was a wrong word, wasn't it? Bleep. It's a nice place to sit at the end of the night before I go back to my hotel and just go through the comments on my mobile and things. Very nice. And I was paying 199 baht for a pint of draft beer, which is dear, but it's okay. But now 235 baht. I mean, you're talking over six. What's that? Yeah, it's about £5.70 a pint or something like that. And now the pounds fall in. It's probably £6 a pint. Jabir, how you doing? Yeah, that was you. That was your message. Didn't say hello to you. Right, okay. Somebody's winding me up. Look, to be, not to be says there's no buffering. Do you know, sometimes if it buffers, it can be from your end because it all depends on the internet connections. I've actually got a very good connection at the moment. High speed is quite a good speed. But if your end diminishes, it could be you because I get lots of messages from people and nobody else has complained. Right, Ed Sweeney's 20 stone wife back in England. Go and tell them to turn TV off. Now they're okay. They're okay. Ben Edits, how you doing? Yours, how you doing? I did a thumbs up on your Facebook page the other day. I'm not a great Facebook user. I rarely use it actually, only for messaging. But I did catch one of your posts there, and I did give you a thumbs up, which is rare because nobody gets a thumbs up from me. Right, the Wutong Life Beach Road. The good-looking ones want 1,500 baht. You will not get 1,000 anymore. Only the ones below. Yeah, Bob, I said to you last week, Bob was saying on Sukhumvit Road, it's 2,000 baht minimum, and you try and negotiate, and they just don't want to know. They just walk away. That's freelancers. Let's have a look. Right, Paul Hoskins says, what's the best country to monger now? I guess, well, it's probably still Thailand. It's just, I think you're probably talking about price, are you, Paul? Brent L. In Phuket, I paid 250 baht for a lady drink in a normal bar. Yeah, it's outrageous now. Black Boat, how you doing, mate? 3,000 baht bar fine by itself. No, the 3,000 baht is for the lady. the bar fine is 700 baht. But when you think you don't just go in and pay a bar fine, you normally buy at least one lady's drink. So that's all, you're already up to 1,000 baht plus this 3,000. Plus they want something for the bloody taxi or a tip. You know, it's just too much now. Right, David. Hey, Peter, have you seen Ed Sweeney video the other night? Yeah, I've already spoken about that. I'm not going to get into it. I don't know anything more than you know, David. Somebody sent me the video. I watched it. I thought, oh, someone's upset him. I don't know who. Could have been me. I doubt it. Me and Ed are friends. I think Ed would have contacted me. Other than that, I know nothing else. Okay, so it's no good. Keep trying to plug information out of me. I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Right, John Paul, crazy prices. When I was there last week, I was paying 1,500 on Thai Friendly for short time. Connect 4 players. Got some very excellent players. Yeah, that's there is some good players out there. Soy TV Thailand. Morning all from beautiful Singapore. Kisses to Sheila. I don't think Sheila's in at the moment. I'll have to. I spoke to her. I haven't spoken to her for about a week. Right, Welsh 32. It might. Hang on, where are we? It might be better to take dollars out there, even if you're from the UK, and just give them dollars in the bars. Laugh out loud. I don't know, but the time you do, I've just been loading my Wise debit card up. I've got 50,000 baht on there now as a backup because I'm going out for so long. Right, Franco, how you doing? I'm glad you're out there. No buffering on the stream. All is okay. Getting it. Check your own connection. Yeah, okay. Franco would text me and say, look, you've got a problem, but he isn't. Good to see you there, Franco. You're keeping an eye on everybody. And I'm going to say hi to, is it Krista Renstorm? I'll try my best to say that. Thank you for that. For the first Leo in Thailand. Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to that. I'll have a cheers to you when I get there. If I've missed any of your comments, guys, just write it again. They're coming in quite fast now, over 300 in. Jeff Fried Rice says, is Pattaya super pricey too, or just Bangkok? Pattaya is a lot more reasonable. I know in the bars you're sort of paying, put it this way, if you go anywhere around Sukhumvit, around Soi 4 especially, right, you're probably paying anywhere between 160 to 180 for a small beer. In Pattaya, you're probably paying 70, 80 baht at most. With the other prices, I don't want to get into them, but Pattaya is, if you're just going there to relax, have beers, go out and enjoy yourself, Pattaya is a much better deal. Bangkok is really expensive now. Around the tourist area is really expensive. The hotel prices are all going up. You know, what can you say? I mean, it's not a cheap city anymore. Right, Vibe Child, that's 40 US. I mean, that's nothing, but roughly 110 US dollar overall for the burgers is familiar. We're talking about. Yeah, okay, I'll get your point, Vibe Child, but you know, you've got to remember some of the older kind of mongers in the stream. I've been going out there for 10, 20, and 30 years, and it always used to be a cheap destination, cheap beer, cheap Connect 4 players, the whole kabam, you know, cheap hotels. Yeah, it's not bad compared to everywhere else if you compare it. But the thing is, it's you know, it's not cheap anymore. It definitely is not cheap. Right, World Traveller Forever, great stream as usual. 13 days to touchdown in Bangkok. My mind is already there. We get there about the same time. World Traveller Forever. Thanks for that. $10. I'll buy you a beer if I see you there. With that, yeah, okay. All right. So hi to Will Richardson. Yours, Dan Badu, great buddy. It's good. Good in the UK too. Right. Alex Curtin says, going to Pattaya for the first time in December. How far in advance do I need to book with Apple? Oh, I would book as soon as you can because she's quite popular. She is busy. Let me just put a banner up for you. So I think you've got a line already. Apple's a taxi driver. I plug her quite a bit. That came out wrong as well. I mean, I try to advertise her because she's a friend, and I don't get any commission or anything like that. But she's a nice girl, and she does a good job. So yeah, there's a line ID. You can rewind this. Just write to her. The best way to do it, she does speak some English, but the best way is if you use Google Translate. So write your message out very simply in English and then translate it in Thai and then send the message in line in English and in Thai, and then she'll get it. But she does write back, and she's very good. She's picking me up not next week, the week after. Okay. Corporate Mahahon. Cambodia might be cheap, but overall Thailand trumps it all. Infrastructure, security, Western standard girls, best package, even if it gets more expensive. Yeah, absolutely. And you don't have to stay in Bangkok. I mean, the only reason I'm going to base myself in Bangkok is because it is a good base if you're a Thailand YouTuber. I mean, Jomtien would be very nice, but the problem is you've got everybody down there doing. I mean, it's all just mongering videos, isn't it? You know, you've got Lucas does a few. You know, he'll show you around some hotels, and visa places and stuff, and you've got everything Pattaya, who does apartments and everything really. They're quite interesting videos. And then you've got the kind of monger channels. You've got NDTV down there with Martin. So and you've got Jeffrey Peterson, who's based in Jomtien. He's just had his 25,000 subscribers party. So what could I do? I mean, I can't base myself in Jomtien or Pattaya because I'll be competing with all them, and I don't want to do that. So Bangkok is a good springboard to launch myself into other areas. I'm definitely going to check out Hua Hin again and Chatham. I'll make some more in-depth videos, and I'm going to do Rayong. I've got one of these things, they strap the GoPro. I still haven't used the GoPro yet, but I've got all the right equipment now. So I'm going to do some real nice videos. And of course, not to let the mongers down, wherever I go, I will look for the, the bars, wherever they are, because they always have a street of bars. Okay, Damon, how you doing? Thailand, 150 to 200 pounds a day now for a good time now with all the goodies. Yeah, and that's 200 pounds, about 8,000 baht. It is quite a lot, isn't it? Black Bolt says, Peter, every time you say Apple's name, you can't keep a straight face. She's just to have fun with her. You know, that came out wrong again. There's nothing like that, guys. She's not a bar girl. She's a hardworking taxi driver, but she's just a very pleasant person. I get on well with her. And she always sends me a text online the next day. She said, oh, I've got another customer from America. Thank you so much. And she sends me like a gif of the bowing, the Y. And I'm like, don't worry about it, Apple. Let's have a look. Right. And I tell you what, even if she offered me a free taxi from the airport, I wouldn't take it because she's working, isn't she? I'm not, I'm not that sort of person. She doesn't even ask, she doesn't even give me a price. I just give her whatever, I think I'm going to give her. She'll pick me up at the airport, and then I'm going to book her to go down to Pattaya. But I think I'm going to take the train down to Hua Hin because I've always wanted to do that. That'll be quite interesting. And Andrew Hammond's on the same trip, so I'll go on the train with Andrew. Let me just say thank you to John Paul, regular with that, John. Thank you, Paul. Great stream, Peter. Do you have your apartment sorted in Bangkok already? What part of Bangkok will you live at? Do you know what? Thanks for the super chat, by the way, John Paul. I was talking to a friend this week. I got another guy called Bob, and you know what? He was one of my best friends when I lived in Thailand. And you know what? I haven't spoken to the last time I spoke to Bob was 1999. Okay, and he wrote me a message and he said, I've just found your YouTube channel. How you doing? So you're talking 23 years? And I phoned him up online. And you know what? We started talking like we'd never sort of not seen each other. But he was helping me with apartments and areas and stuff. And I spoke to Bangkok Pat this morning. And I was looking at Unnut originally, but Bangkok Pat said it's not the greatest of areas. It's noisy on the ground. That's how he put it. So Makassar seems quite a decent area. That's kind of not too far from Sukhumvit. Prices are cheaper, and it looks okay. Bangkok Pat's got a video out on Makassar. That's his latest one. So I'll check out a few places with them, but I don't want to be right out in the sticks, even if it is near the BTS. I understand I probably can't live between Asok and Soi 4 now because I looked at a room, it was 15,000 baht for a shitty room, and it was a shitty room. That's the sort of room you want to top yourself in, after your bar girl ripped you off. It's horrible, it was. But I don't want to be way out in the sticks. Right. Good evening, guys. If you've just joined us, I'll get back into the comments in a minute. Let's talk about Thailand. Let's see what's going on. Let's jump into a few stories very, very quickly. Right. Okay. This won't interest you, but it is a bit of news. COVID-19 arrival screenings to be dropped October the 1st. Visitors to Thailand will soon be free to show a COVID vaccination or test certificate starting October 1st. Next headline, Thailand's emergency decree will finally come to an end on October the 1st after being extended 19 times since the beginning of the pandemic. As a result, Thailand's COVID-19 task force will be dissolved. This decision to end the state of emergency has been in the pipeline for some time and was finally confirmed today by the CCSA at a meeting hosted by the Prime Minister. So, it's finally Thailand, thank you, Lord. Finally, it's come to the end of the road, as it were. What else are we talking about? Right, this is quite fun. I've got a video. Let me read this story. I've got the video. You won't believe this. Right. The headline on this is a Thai trans woman climbs down a building to escape Hong Kong police. Right. And I have got the video. I'm going to show you after this. Right. It says a video of a Thai trans woman in a sexy dress climbing down the outside of a building in Hong Kong to escape the clutches of the law has gone viral. The transgender, wearing a sexy see-through pink dress, climbed out onto the window ledge of a third-floor building to escape the cops. She managed to safely negotiate her way down to the pavement with the help of a kind gentleman outside of the 7-Eleven shop. It has been reported that she is a 30-year-old Thai transgender. It was also reported that Hong Kong police officers raided an illegal entertainment venue offering sexual services where the trans woman worked, and that is why she was trying to escape. So let me get the video up for you, and I'll say thank you to somebody in a second. So that, I've got so much here. I've got to try and find it now. Here we go.
有啲料到喎，男人嚟講，有啲料到喎，落得咁撚準嘅，哇，唔係講笑喎。
There you go. I'm not going to say you heard it here first because you've probably seen it all over the place, but you have heard it and you have seen the video. Right, let me just say hi to Rob. Rob was my guest last Sunday. There he is, handsome man. Good evening, Pete. I had a great stream. Watch him from the cab. I'm charging up now. Charging up. Okay, that's great, Rob. Thank you for the super chat. And like I said to you on the phone yesterday, Rob, you did very, very well last week. I haven't had any negative feedback at all. Everybody said you were a great guest. And yeah, and you held the show together, as it were, when it went all down. So thanks for that. Right, okay. Franco. Yeah, the main man. Thanks. So Matthew Cartwright, how are you doing, sir? Evening. F1 racer Clive, yeah. Dutch Frang, you're saying hi to Clive. All right, Steve from Clive. Paul Hoskin, but KY is an awful on my crumpets. Okay. Marky Mark again. Thailand has finally come to their senses with the COVID restrictions. There are people still actually dying of it, believe it or not. But yeah, they're kind of, it's back almost back to normal now, isn't it? I wish the prices would go back to normal. Barry from EastEnders, hi. Bottle Baby, I'm so confused. Staying Jomtien or Pattaya? Jomtien, I would be seeking a quiet 1 or 2 month vacation. Pattaya would be much more active in the nightlife. Very hard to figure out. Okay, I'll make it easy for you, Bottle Baby. Choose Jomtien if you're going for 2 months. I'll tell you why. Because the thing is, it's quiet. It's a lovely stretch of beach. You've got bars, you've got restaurants. And if you have a night where you think, sod it, I want to really go to town and let my head out, it's 10 minutes in the back of a BART bus. I forget how much it costs. Less, probably 50, 60 baht, something like that. Nothing, peanuts, right? But the thing is, if you live in downtown Pattaya, in the main beach road area, it's kind of hard to stay in sometimes. You know, if you're going for 2 months, you don't want to go out and party every night, do you? I like Jomtien. It's a much cleaner. It's quieter. You've got enough nightlife. You've got enough restaurants. There's some great places to eat there. And, you know, there's people who play Connect 4 everywhere as well. So if personally, I would live in Jomtien and I would visit main Pattaya. Right, Angels Cabell, you do it every week. Thank you for that. Connect 4 game is only $11.99 in the UK. Save yourself a fortune and take it with you to Thailand. Yeah, okay. I guess you are joking there, right? You know what I mean. Right, and thanks for the super chat, Angels Cabell, as always. Right, Alex, hello, Rob, is the name of the place in Pattaya for watches and called Jack's. Okay, that's the watches that Rob was talking about last week, wasn't it? Yeah, they'll put that from Rob there. Okay. Red Hammer, evening, sire. Only 26 days to go. Nice seeing the pound crashing. Yeah, I know, it's depressing. It's just my luck, isn't it? You know, when I was there with my missus 3 years ago, it was 36. Painful. £100 to get 3,600 baht. But it's a double whammy now, because not only is a pound going down, but the prices are way, way high. I tell you, honestly, I'm going out for 3 months, but this time I'm going to be a cheap Charlie, really. I mean, I'm not going to eat noodles off the street. I'm going to have a good time, but I'm going to watch it. You know, the days of going into a restaurant and not looking at prices and just ordering what I want, they're long gone, long gone. Right. Okay. Right, they came here to Shag Farang. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. You're leaving some really weird messages here. I'm going to time you out for a little while. I don't know if you're just joking or you're a serious troll there. Right, Nick T, 4 weeks until I'm in Phnom Penh. Popping over border to, might see you for a few light hours, Peter. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Nick. Why not? David Salisbury, Peter, just had my COVID injection today, ready for holiday. Do you know, that's one thing I wish I'd done. I've had 3 now, but the last one was quite a long time ago. You know, I should have had another one, really, because I'm going for so long, and I should have booked it. I know there's a lot of people say, you know, don't bother, waste of time and all that. But, you know, I caught COVID when I had no jabs. and it was hell on earth. I woke up one night, I couldn't breathe. I don't mean it was difficult to breathe, I couldn't breathe. I ran to the window, it was in the winter, and I opened the window and got some air, but I was out of it for a month. I laid on the couch for a month. This was before we knew what COVID was. It was really, really bad, guys. The second time I caught it, I'd had 2 vaccines, and it was fine. You know, it was absolutely fine. I just had a sore throat. Right, Damon, Peter, I recommend the Swan Inn at Soi 4 in Nana. Great location, lovely relaxing chair. And but what lives in that bloody chair, Damon? Yeah, I wouldn't put Benji in there. Right, okay, let's just go back to a little bit of news now. There's a story, you know, this elite visa, right? Isn't it a nice dream, a 10-year visa, go fast tracked in the airport, all that sort of stuff. It's a great dream, isn't it? They said something like 3 million would apply for it. There was a story in the Tiger today. Basically, it says very few applications for the Thailand elite visa. Reports from official sources suggest that only 400 applicants or expressions of interest have so far been received for the new 10-year long-term residence visas. Almost half the applicants since the launch on September once have been from the United States, China, and the UK, with retirees being the principal group. Provided they are aged at least 50, the application process is straightforward, provided they can prove a regular income of at least 80,000 baht, £2,000 monthly. Some of the benefits are shared with the elite visa, popular with retirees, including fast track. Yeah, but they don't mention the 50,000 baht to get it. That's the problem there. I wouldn't get it because the thing is, it's, you know, they change the rules so often. You know, you pay the 50,000 baht, they'll probably cancel it the following week. Right, Will Richardson. Find a walk-in site in the UK. Tell them you're looking after an elderly person and you'll get a vaccination on the spot. That's a good idea. Yeah, I might do that. I was just thinking, I wasn't laughing at that. I was thinking about something else. Capital 17, what are you saying? Swan Inn. Even the mice throw themselves on the traps. Yeah, I know. It's a good place to play pool, though. Peter Demeter, is it? Thanks for that super chat, mate. Just back from my 8th Thailand trip. It's great to enjoy the channel with fellow addicts. Yeah, good to have you here, Peter, and thanks for that. I'll get a couple of beers in 2 weeks' time on you. The thing about Thailand, right? You know, you can complain about the exchange rates, and you can complain about the prices, and you can complain about everything else. But you know what it's like. You wake up in your hotel, nice balcony. You go and have a nice greasy fry up for about 160 baht or something in Bangkok, 180. Yeah, and it's just nice. And you walk down the street, everybody smiles at you. You've got no stress in your life. That's the reason I decided to move out there permanently, because when I was there in December, like I said to you a few times, my original plan was to have a bolt hole here in the UK and then go out often to Thailand. And I was on the back of a bike going to get my COVID test, passing all these buildings, big tall apartment blocks. And I was so stress-free. And I thought, why am I even in the UK? You know, we've got thousands of people coming across on boats, you know. Well, I won't get into politics, you know, but you know what I mean? It's just a great place to visit, isn't it? I suppose everywhere in Southeast Asia, but like someone said earlier, the thing is, about whatever you want to say about Thailand, they have got the infrastructure, they have got great food. The people, for the most part, are warm, friendly people. They've always got a smile on their face. There's everywhere else is a second, isn't it? Really, for me, it is anyway. And I have been to most other places, not Vietnam though. Right, Sean the Salmon, is this guy on coke? Jesus, okay. I don't know what guy you're talking about, but there we go. You're gone. Right, Marky Mark, you can't put a price on a good time in Thailand. True, if you've got the money, Mark, but if you're a bit short of the old cheddar, then yeah, unfortunately you can a little bit. Right, the Wutong Life, just for your information, 95% of the Thais and Asian tourists are wearing masks. White foreigners, 99% not wearing masks. It's awkward. Yeah, I've heard that as well from somebody today. I think what I will do in that case with the mask situation, I think when I'm in a bar in a tourist area, like say if I do go to a Stumble Inn or Hooters or those kind of places, the beer garden on Soi 5, if they'll have me back, you know, I won't wear a mask, obviously, and if I'm walking down Sukhumvit, I'll probably keep it on loose. You know, I won't wear it. I'll just have it to here maybe. But definitely if I go onto the Sky Train or I'm in a confined area, in Bangkok, if I go into a 7-Eleven, I'll put one on. Damien said in Pattaya, people don't go into 7-Eleven wearing them. But, you know, you've got to respect the Thais. You know, they're a bit paranoid about it now. So I'll put it on when I feel like it's necessary, just to be polite more than anything. I'm really not worried about, you know, really seriously worried about getting it as such. But, you know, I don't want to... there was a story I read a while ago about 4 Thais were in a lift in a hotel. They were going up on a business meeting, and the hotel stopped on, say, the second floor, and a white guy got in with no mask. And the 4 people, you know, when you're in a lift, they're normally facing you. He got in, and they all turned around and faced the corners. I mean, that must have been a little bit unsettling for him, but he didn't have a mask on, you know. So whether they were making a statement or they just were, I don't see it do you any good, would it? Because you're in a confined area. Yeah, I know that was you who made the point earlier, wasn't it? Exactly. Friendly people, security, infrastructure, and I've always had a great time. So I'm fine to pay the premium and taking no risks. Yeah. I mean, none of us like to pay over the odds, do we? But, you know, I'm an old hand there, and I know places where I can eat in Sukhumvit where it won't cost me an arm and a leg. I just won't be drinking in go-go bars in Nana Plaza. What my other friend, Bob, what he said he does he lives there full time, but he says he does a happy hour tour. You know, there's bars between sort of 5 and 6, other ones who have between 6 and 9, whatever. Hi, Capio. I thought you remember already, but if you're not, Capio will become a YouTube member. Okay, right. Welcome, Capio. I thought you were in already, but good to have you in anyway. Confirmed now. A little bit late, but good to have you in. Thank you. Right, Damon says no masks for me, and they don't really worry about it now. I know I was there 2 weeks ago, but that was more Pattaya though, wasn't it, Damon? Maybe in your village as well, in Buriram. What about Bangkok? Because you were there for a few days, weren't you? Mr. Superstar says that's true, Peter. Thailand, in all of its entirety, food, people, atmosphere will always be hard to beat, even if the boat is the baht. I think you meant the baht is strengthening. Yeah. I mean, you've just got to be more careful, haven't you? When I go out there for 2 weeks, I don't really care about money because I've saved it up and I think, right, I've got 2 grand, 3 grand, whatever I've got. I hope I come back with £500 or something. You know, you try, but you don't care. But when you're going out there for 2 to 3 months, you know, you've got to watch it because you think about it. On average, a hotel room, 1,000 baht a night. Well, that's 90,000 baht for 3 months. That's £1,500. You know, so I'm probably going to stay in, you know, cheaper hotels. We'll see. I'll be making videos anyway, so you can follow what I'm doing when I get out there. Yeah, hi to everybody from Capio. Good to have you in. Right, Clive, we haven't had a message from you tonight. Now, what are you saying? I'm not sure where to go, laugh out loud. Chatting to a lady in the Philippines. I know loads about Thailand. I'll probably stick to Thailand, Clive. The thing with the Philippines, the only benefit I can really see is they speak good English, everybody. I have been there a long time ago. It was okay. But like I keep saying, everywhere else, I think it's a second. I've been to Cambodia. That was a second best to Thailand, Philippines, Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. You know, I mean, I've done it. I've read the book, I've seen the movie, and I keep going back to Thailand. Right. Capio says, awful, isn't it? Okay. Damon, there was hardly anyone wearing masks in Bangkok, Peter, but okay, fine, take your word for it. I was there December, nearly a year now. Right, okay, let me just make a comment on that, Trevor. Try Airbnb cheaper. You say that, but where I want to stay, they were coming up at hotel prices because I'd watched other people's videos. One YouTuber who was staying in the Omni, and the price he quoted, I thought, wow, I'll do that with bookings.com, or I'll go on Airbnb. But to be honest with you, the prices that were getting quoted for the Airbnb were either hotel rates or they were crap places in crap locations. I'll give you a top tip. If you ever look at an apartment or a hotel and it says very close to the BTS or 5 minutes from the BTS, you know, the SkyTrain, they have their own map. So it will have like a, you know, the Zenith condo, and like right next to it, Asok BTS, not Asok, but on the station. So you're looking at the Zenith apartment building, and right there is a BTS. But you take the address of that Zenith building, put it into Google Maps, not their map, and you'll see a lot of the time that BTS, you need a bloody taxi for 10 minutes before you get to the BTS. You've got to be really careful with that close to the BTS description. Richard, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Good evening, Peter. Good news on the potential house sale. Hopefully everything works out. Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Richard, as always. With the house, I had a guy who really likes it, and he's called the estate and said, look, I know Peter's a bit frustrated, but we really like his house. That's the one. We've looked at a load of houses. Unfortunately, he had a buyer. He put his flat up for a week. He's got a big family, and 2 girls and a wife, and his buyer dropped out. But he said if he gets another buyer on his, which he might well do, it's a lot cheaper than my place. He said this is the one he wants to buy. He hasn't said an offer yet, so I'm not, you know, it's still kind of in there, but you never know. It's good news. Okay, right. Let me do another. Before I have a beer, let me do a few more stories. What's going on? We've done that. Yeah, I was talking to Damien last week, as I always do, and I said to Damien, "What did you notice anything different about Thailand, Pattaya, whatever? You know, because he hadn't been back for 3 years." And he said the only thing that he found very, very annoying was, you know, the smell of cannabis everywhere you go. Apparently, it's on it. People are selling it on every street corner. He just said it's an awful, because it smells like cat's piss, doesn't it? At the end of the day, I've never been into it, and you know, but you know, I don't know how they're going to regulate. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but the rules, the official legal rules for cannabis in Thailand, apart from where you're allowed to use it or buy it or smoke it, whatever, but it's legal for cafes and restaurants to serve cannabis infused products. You know, so cannabis banana cake, I don't know. That is as long as a cannabis extract product it has less percent than 0.2 THC. That's the primary compound that makes you high. But I don't see how they can really regulate it. I know somebody who's grown cannabis in a big way. They've made a business from it now, or they're trying to get into it. And there was no talk about, oh, we have all these special tools to make sure that it's only 0.2. So I don't know how they're going to work out for that. Something else I read here, this might interest some retirees going out to Thailand. It says Thailand is stepping up its assistance for foreign retirees and their Thai spouses by providing free counselling on inheritance and other legal issues under international laws. The support is being carried out by the Office of International People's Rights Protection, which falls under the Office of the Attorney General. The Kingdom has become a popular destination for foreign retirees to spend the rest of their days, where they can enjoy its advanced healthcare system, low cost of living, and good weather culture. So there you go. What else? Okay, let's put a photograph up for this one. This is quite an awful story. Let's have a look. Where are we? Right, I'll put this picture up and I'll read you the story. Okay, so that is the picture and here is the story. Right, the title of this: Japanese golfers sexually assault Thai cabbies. Net citizens from Thailand and Japan condemned a group of Japanese golfers who posted a video showing them sexually harassing Thai caddies on a golf course, which has now been taken down. That's the video's been taken down. Incredibly, some Thai net citizens believe sexual assaulting caddies is okay if they earn a bigger tip. Some slammed the vile behavior, while others made it known that the caddies were afraid to speak out because they might get fired. A Japanese man posted the offensive video of the golfers and Thai caddies with a caption that said, "Japanese men sexually harassing Thai women. Some Japanese men think they can do anything to Thai women." Well, I'll just step in there and just say, yeah, that story was about some awful Japanese guys, but it's not just Japanese, is it? There's guys from all over the world who do this sort of thing. But, you know, you've got to feel sorry for the girls. They're out there making a living. They're not bar girls. I mean, look at that girl. Her face is being covered up, but, you know, she's somebody's daughter, isn't she? You know, she's gone out to work. She hasn't chosen to work in a bar. And look at this guy, you know, awful behavior. Right. Wayne M, you're not going to get a buzz out of 0.2%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you, though. But people do. And that's why I think it isn't 0.2 a lot of the time. I mean, you think how many people are now growing and selling cannabis in Thailand. I mean, how can they regulate it properly? They can't, can they? Unless they go to a grower and do tests on the growing site. But I'm sure there's thousands of people now got plant pots on the side of their kitchen windows. Tom Harrison, how to, yeah, you asked me this earlier. Right, Tom, I wasn't being funny with you, mate. The reason I don't get into this in an email is because really I'm so busy on YouTube. It takes up so much of my time. And I get a lot of people write to me and say, how do I do this? How do I get that? And if I spent my time as a free kind of tourist guide, just constantly writing emails, I'm not getting anything for it. And it's taking up my time. Now, I don't mind in the streams because this is what the streams are about. You can ask me a question. It's very easy for me to explain it. But as far as writing emails, I do a service where people can book an hour with me for about £30 or something. It might be even cheaper than that. And they can have a one-on-one with me on a private stream and they can ask me whatever they want. I do that, but then I get something for it. but on the stream, I don't mind. So let me answer this because I remember the question from earlier. You've written, how do you get to the initial hotel in Hua Hin once you get off the bus taxi? If so, approximate cost, how do you travel from Hua Hin to Pattaya? Right, well, there's several, from Hua Hin to Pattaya is quite a long way because it's on the other side of the Gulf. You know, the Gulf of Pattaya is like a horseshoe. So Hua Hin is on the west coast and Pattaya is on the east coast. So you'd have to go all the way around. But there is a bus service, or you could travel up to Bangkok, spend a night there and go to Hua Hin the next day, which is about 3.5 hours away. How do you get to the initial hotel? I don't know what bus station you're talking about. If you're talking about where the Toyota minibuses stop in Hua Hin, you know, those 8-seater minibuses, they stop on Soi 80. And it doesn't matter. I don't know whether the actual big buses, if you're talking about the larger blue air-conditioned buses, but all you do, you'll just have to jump on the back of a motorbike taxi. If you've got a bag, you won't want to do that. Just grab a BART bus taxi and just tell him to go to Soi 94. Soi 94, that's where, and what you'll do, you'll come in from, he'll have to do a U-turn on Pegasin Road. That's the main highway through the centre of Hua Hin. So he'll come down, 94 will be there. He'll do a right turn at the Bangkok hospital. You'll go into Soi 94, and it's the last building right at the far end. So you'll go down Soi 94. Right there on the left, you can rent a motorcycle for 150 baht a day. Very nice lady. Go down, you'll cross over the railway lines in your taxi. You'll see a big 7-Eleven there. Carry on going straight. You'll get to the T junction at the end, and it's the last building on the left-hand side of the T junction. It looks like an apartment block because it is an apartment block. It's only the top 2 floors which they rent out as hotel rooms, but very, very nice hotel. The problem with the Narawan hotel up that end, you hear the trains all night because it's right next to the railway line. The initial hotel's great value. I paid 600 baht for a corner room. That's not the lower room. I've got 2 balconies. It's on a corner. View of the mountain, 600 baht. You can't go wrong with that. Was another question there? No, that's it. I hope that's answered your question. Okay, Mr. Superstar. My main concern has been around people who smoke weed in clubs, bars, and the smell stains the clothes, which might get picked up by the border control sniffer dogs when returning to Australia. Yeah, but you know, a couple of things there. I don't know if you, because you're not allowed to smoke in bars now, are you? I mean, even when I was there in December, you could smoke in beer bars, even though you're not supposed to, you know, the outside ones. But as far as I know, there were no go-go bars open when I was there. But when I was there 3 years ago, you couldn't smoke in an air-conditioned place. And I've seen guys go to light a cigarette up and the staff have jumped on them and said, no, you can't smoke in here, you know. So one, I think even in somewhere like Pattaya, I don't think you're allowed to smoke in an enclosed environment with air conditioning. Probably in an outside bar, something like Nick's bar that's got no sides to it. In the daytime, it's opened up. They probably turn a blind eye in there. That's probably fine. But in a gentleman's club or a go-go bar, I very much doubt people smoke. And you know, even if that in that situation, if that did happen, you just said, look, I've just returned from vacation. I've just come back from Thailand. They're all smoking it over there. I don't smoke it. I think you'd be fine because they know it's legal over there now, and that's your explanation. I think that's perfectly acceptable. Thailand found 1 hour in a one-to-one no-brainer. How many text messages or emails and you send and get answered in 1 hour before I get to my monger stripes? I will definitely have an hour with you, Peter. Yeah, I mean, it's very cheap. There's a guy, I won't name him. There's another guy I know. He's charging something like $200 to chat with him for an hour. And I'm thinking, who is he? Bloody George Michael? No, I'm like 25 quid or something like that, 30 quid. I can't remember. And it is good. I've had a couple of people. There's somebody in the chat tonight who did a 2 hour. No, he did a 1 hour stint with me. I did a 2 hour stint with a guy in America who's moving out for the first time. And I'm not just making this up. What he said to me at the end of the 2 hours, he said, you know what, that was the best. That was, I think it was, he paid £90 for 2 hours, but I only got 85 because he paid by PayPal. I should have charged him another £5, but hey ho. And he said to me, hand on heart, he said, you know what? He said, that's the best £90 I've spent because I'm going out there. He said, I didn't know any of this stuff you've just told me. So it's worth it if you haven't been out there before. JB says, long may you reign over us, Peter. If anything happens to you, me and the Mongers could put wife beaters on and carry you through Kettering. Apple could be the driver and Hoskins could give a speech. Yeah, that's funny, that is. Right, Marky Mark. I've mentioned this before, but I would love to see you connect with Simon for live streams. You guys have great banter. Do you know what? I haven't heard. We haven't fallen out, but I haven't heard from Simon for a long, long time. I called him 2 weeks ago on a Monday. He didn't answer. I called him on the Wednesday. He said, I'll call you back. He didn't call me back. I called him on the Friday. So that's 3 times in a week. And you know what? I'm a patient guy, but even I get fed up of waiting for people. So I haven't called him back. I figured he'll call me when he's got time. He hasn't called me back, so I don't know. I mean, we haven't fallen out or anything like that, but yeah, I'm sure we'll do the odd live stream together just for fun. We'll be sitting in a bar and I'll say, let's do a live stream. But the thing is, my live streams are aimed at the UK market. You know, I'm not doing it at the moment for anywhere else. I'll probably set up some live streams for East Coast America, West Coast, or that sort of thing. Maybe Australia. Do 2 or 3 live streams to fit in with those time regions. But I definitely want to keep the UK one going because you guys supported me from the beginning. I know that sounds really corny, but I do mean it. That's why I'm going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do a live stream when I'm there in 2 weeks' time. All right, Alexander the Great, how you doing? Life reset, Tyler. My hotel smell of weed. Yeah, FFs. Well, yeah. Yeah, if I go to check, the problem is the first hotels, the hotel I'm staying for 4 nights in Bangkok is paid for, as is the one in Pattaya, the first 6 nights. I can't do nothing about that. But if I go into a budget hotel and it stinks of weed, the room, I'll just walk out. I won't stay there. And I never pay in advance unless, like, you know, I've done from here. But once I'm there, I don't. Mind you saying that, no, that's not true, because I remember when I was in when I went to the bridge on the River Kwai, there we stayed in a 1,000 baht a night hotel. Yeah, and we had to pay at the desk up front. Yeah, so maybe I can't do that. Right, Jeff R, let's put that up there. Which massage parlors in Pattaya have the tables with a head opening to put your head flat for comfort for a full body oil massage? You've been watching a lot of those funny videos, haven't you, JF? Is it Food Tube? I don't know. I mean, just there's a lot. If you had to count the massage parlors in Bangkok, you're probably getting close to 100, if not 200. They're everywhere. You can ask them. You can go in and just say, do you have a private room? What is it? Is it screened? Is it a bed? Or, you know, they'll tell you. They've got no problem with that. Clive, right? Hey, Peter. When are you going to say Clive? No. How do you mean, Clive? I always call you Clive. I don't know what you mean by Clive. No. Oh, is that when you're grilling me when I'm on another stream? Right, Mark Kelso, Peter, could you try and get Sheila and Rob on for your final Sunday? In theory, that's a good idea, Mike, but I'm not going to do it. I'll tell you why. I've got a surprise guest on my last stream before I got to Thailand. That'll be not this Sunday. Next Sunday is my last UK stream for a while. I've got a surprise guest. The problem is if you get 2 people on, it's good because you can have some banter, talk to each other, and you can get comments come in. People can ask questions. When you have 3 or more people in it, it gets a bit much. I've tried it in the early days, and what happens is 3 people, everybody wants to put their oar in, plus viewers are trying to leave comments and ask questions, and it's too much. I don't like to do it. I know you see streamers who have 12 people in the stream, and we did that Sunday night thing. Do you remember when I had 10 people in there? But it was all feedback gibberish, and it was just for fun. You know, it's like, go for it, guys. You're all on screen. But to actually get somebody on here and have an intelligent conversation and have some good questions, really a one-on-one is kind of better. Right? I prefer that personally. And I think Rob was a very good guest last week. I enjoyed having him on here. I think you guys did. Sheila a couple of weeks ago, she was very good. As is, I haven't had a bad guest on here. When I did one with Ed, a couple of streams where they went down very well. So yeah, I mean, a great idea. I know where you're coming from, but I don't think so. I think just the one. And I have, like I said, I have got a mystery guest in 2 weeks' time. Okay, life reset. Thailand people that are working the shops, yes, but customers maybe 20% Thais. But maybe I can buy you a big pack of masks to take. Yeah, I've got mine all lined up. I've actually bought a couple of, because I hate these masks. Look, I got a whole box of these. Look, you know these horrible ones. I got these for free. That's why I've got so many of them. I'm going to take them with me, but I've actually bought a couple of really decent masks off eBay. They haven't come yet, probably coming from China, and they'll arrive after I've left. But you know, they're black, loose-fitting ones, so I hope they come because they're awful to wear for 12 hours. I don't know. Are they still making you wear them on the Thai Airway flights? Let's have a look. Well, do you know what? Naughty boy. Peter, if you do live streams for other countries, Australia is 1 hour to 4 hours in front of Thailand. That's not bad, actually, because that means I could do one at sort of 6 o'clock in the evening in Bangkok, and that would fit in 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that would be okay. Or maybe a bit later, maybe 7 o'clock. That'd be good, yeah. You see, it's difficult with the UK. If you guys aren't in the UK, our clocks change. I think it's the 31st of October they go forward. So today, Thailand is 6 hours ahead of us in the UK, but on if I'm right, the last day, well, November, it's going to be 7 hours, and that's quite a difficult gap, isn't it? Franco says 387 in the house, only 57 likes, so the 330 must not be enjoying the stream. Come on, people, show you the support. Yeah, come on, give us a thumbs up. Right. Who else we got? Dutch Frank. Yeah, thank you. You got your little member symbol there. See, members, I always, get priority, answers. Right. Non-Yai Inspector says just go for Soapy. And for all those non-speaking Thais, I'm not saying I'm fluent in it, but look at the picture. Nom Yai, anybody got any idea what that means? Let me just tell you, Yai means big. Okay, you'll have to guess the other word. Right. Darcy. Peter, please do an airport and travel vlog on your way to Bangkok. Yeah, I thought about that, but I did one when I went in December, where I sat in the car and I says, right, guys, it's 2 years. I'm going. I got my seatbelt on and I drove. I might do because I'm going for so long. I've given my little Skoda Fabia to my daughter now. She's got the green P on it, and she's, God bless her, she's out and about driving. She hates driving, but I'm going down by National Express coach. And the weird thing about it is I'm getting a taxi from here to Northampton because we don't have a National Express station here. And the normal bus is £14 to Northampton from here, which is 10 miles away. But it's like £22 from Northampton to Heathrow on a luxury National Express, So I've got a friend taking me in a taxi. He normally charges 30. He's done it for 25. Diesel's expensive. So it's 25 quid to go 10 miles to Northampton. And then it's costing me £22 to do the other 60 in a National Express, which I've never used before, but apparently they're very good. So yeah, I possibly, yeah, I'll do it. I will do it. Right. Sawan Sharma. Hey Peter, I'm going to Thailand again in November. By the way, it will be my second visit in 3 months. Yeah, good on you. You must enjoy it like the rest of us. Damien says, I had to wear a mask on Eva Air for about 10 minutes. Then hardly anyone had them on. It's all bollocks. Very well explained there, young Damien. Yeah, I know what you mean. When it was in its height in December, when I went, when it was really bad, when it was really, everything was enforced. I mean, that mask was starting to cut into the back of my ear, not blood, but, it was really getting to the point where it was getting very, very uncomfortable. And what I found myself doing, because it was a night flight, I kind of took this one off and let it hang. And I had a window seat and I kind of had the blanket up high. And it was just when I got to that hotel room after 18 hours of this mask, it was better than sex taking it off. It really was. Right. Richard Meyer, nom means milk. Yeah, okay, of course, yeah. All right, I didn't want to say it. You've explained it there. Right. Eddie the Meltdown Monger. Hello, Peter, for the 5th time. Hello for the first time. I missed the comments, guys. When you're talking to a camera about different things, the comments keep coming. You miss them sometimes. So there you go. I got you there. Right. I have had guys in the stream said, "Oh, I've messaged you 6 times and you're ignoring me. I'm off." And I'm like, well, sorry about that. Right. Okay, let's just get rid of any more news that we've got. I think that's it, actually. We've done the Thai tourism rebounds with 10 million expected this year. That's good news. Right, okay, we've done all the serious news bits and pieces. I'll just say another shout out to Noel in Birmingham, the blind man. Do it every week. How you doing, Noel? Thanks for your emails. I haven't written back to you last one because I've been really busy. Right, okay, that's it. I think we're going to do a competition now, guys, because when I do a competition, I can have a sneaky beer. Let's do a couple more comments and take it. Well, it's an hour already. No, we'll go straight into we've got 3 of these tonight, guys. So let's have a look which one we're doing first. Oh, before we do that, let me just show you. This is really short. This is a 10-second video, and I forget who sent this in to me, which is bad. I think it could have been. I forgot his name now. The fake Ed Sweeney. It could have been the fake Ed Sweeney. Right. Do you remember in the stream kind of months and months ago, I was telling you about the early 90s, and I said they used to have elephants in Soy 4. They banned them now, thank goodness, because I hate cruelty to animals. So what you'd have a guy with a hook, a kind of stick with a hook on it, a bag of bananas, and he'd pull this bloody elephant, this poor elephant, by the ear. And it was, how busy Nana Plaza Soy 4 is. They would have these baby elephants, and tourists would be like, they'd pay like 50 baht for one banana and they feed the tourists. So this is a 10-second clip. And if you look at the banana, let me just put this up so I don't forget. Antonio, really quickly, thank you, because I'll forget what I'm talking about. You look very happy today. Have a safe trip. I'm always happy, Antonio, even when I get your emails. Just joking. Good to have you in the stream. yeah, this particular clip, now it's only 10 seconds long, but what's great about this is if you look, it's really hard to see because they didn't have the digital equipment that they've got now. It was all done on them small tape cameras. I've still got one actually. You know, and the quality wasn't what we have today. It's all high 4K and high definition, so it's a bit grainy. But it's a 10-second clip, and if you look at the elephant, I've slowed it down on. I've run it twice. At the back of it, you can just about see the entrance to Nana Plaza. It's very difficult, so you'll have to watch very closely. But it is only 10 seconds long. Okay. Actually, I cocked up there. It wasn't looking at Nana, it was looking from Nana. I'll run it again because it's only 10 seconds long, right? But if you look, the guy with the camera is obviously coming out of Nana and he's filming this elephant at the entrance. And the restaurant he filmed was some random restaurant. I don't know where that is, probably out of business now, renamed. So there's something across the road. I think, do you know where Hooters were? I think there was a Thai bar before Hooters in the Nana coffee shop. It used to be huge. They've swallowed it up now with Hooters. Hooters are big long bar, isn't it? And the coffee shop in the Nana is very small now. Well, in the old days, the coffee shop in the Nana was massive, absolutely huge. And the Thai bar that was where Hooters was just a bar with seats around it. There was no, you couldn't go into this bar as such. So when you come off the pavement, it was a bar. You sat on stools around this bar, and there was a bartender there with the optics there. That's all it was. And if you look at this again, and you look from Nana looking across, that was the bar that was there before Hooters. So I'm guessing that was probably, I reckon that was around 1996-5, because it, they used to have them every night. I hated seeing it. For me, it is cruelty. A baby elephant's got no place in Nana Plaza. It was underage anyway, wasn't it? It was only a baby. Right, guys, we're going to do a competition now. I've got 3 lined up for you tonight. Now, you know the first and the second one. I've got a new one that somebody gave me an idea about, but it's just as a one-off. So this one is the, let's have a look. It's Spot the Thai Lady. So the usual thing, there's 8 pictures from girls around Asia. Only one of them is a Thai. The object of the game, give me the number of the girl that you think is Thai. By the way, talking of Nom Yai, did you notice number 4, a particularly stunning young lady? Right, let's go through these now. Farang Travels, no. Nick Reels, no. Clive, no. 4K Chill Vibes, no. Barry from EastEnders, no. JB, no. 7Z, yes, correct. Well done. Clive, no. TG2450, no. Dayan Ford, no. Thailandbound, no. Pesky McNuggets, no. Will Richardson, no. Krista Rostron, no. Javier, no. Clive again, no. Only in Thailand, no. Matthew Cartwright, no. Corporate Mahone, no. Charlie Stewart, right, no. Nomad Overseas, no. STE Billabo, no. David Lean, no. David Lean again, no. Mark Hanley, no. Yoss Travels, no. Clive, no. Again, three Clives there. Robert, no. Rumble, only one right answer so far, guys. Kevin Sutherland, no. John Rolebury, no. Will Smith, no. Dave Stewart, no. Richard Harris, no. Carlos Herrera, no. Nomya Inspector, love that name. No. Marky Mark, no. Aya, no. Darcy, no. Ellesmere, no. World Traveller, no. Jeff say no. Not many right answers tonight. Surprised at that. Bernard, no. Alex, no. Corporate Mahoan again. It's number 2. It isn't number 2. James Casey, no. Timothy Temple, well done, mate. Alexander the Great, well done. We'll get a lot of right answers now. It's every time somebody gets one, I say, well done, you got it right. We suddenly get a lot of right answers. I wonder why. Franco De Rosa, no, give it up. Franco, do you remember our conversation? Darcy, that's a tough one. It is a tough one, guys. The next competition is going to be fun. Steve, no. Paul Harrison, no. Darcy, no. Matthew Alcorn, no. Innovations Reality, no. Damon, no. JB, My Little Worm is ready to sneeze. Okay, a bit too much information there. A then, no. Paul Hoskin, no. Nick S, no. Russ UK, no. David Lee, no. Charles Saunders, no. Dutch Farang, no. Super Nice, no. 20 Rothman. Right, what I'm going to have to do, guys, because there are a lot of answers in here tonight. I'm just going to read the right ones out if there's any more. Whizzing through. Old Fogarty. Number 8, I live to give a game of Connect 4 with her. Okay, well, you got the right answer. I don't know if you'll have a game of Connect 4 with her, but you certainly get first prize from me, which is a well done. Ho Nat Hoya, I always get your name wrong. Well done to you. You got it. I'm only reading out the right answers now. Is there any more before I show? Jeff says 5 and 8 will make nice Hooters go. Yeah, okay. I thought number 4 was particularly nice. Very nice assets. Right, Paulie Buffalo, yeah, you got it. STE Billabo, yeah, you got it. All the right answers coming in now. This happens every competition. Rosso, yes. Clive, oh, Clive, you got one right. Well done. James, yes. Clive again. Stephen Roberts in Bangkok right now after 3 years plus years of absence. It's not very busy, but a lot more expensive. Plenty of Connect 4 champions around. Yeah, we did mention that earlier, Stephen. Thanks for the info. We'll talk a bit more about that later. Yeah, everyone's getting the right answer now. Jan K's got it. Darcy's got it. Clive right every time. Farang Travel's got it. Capital 17, I missed that one. Right, okay, let's put you out your misery. Let's put the answers up before we do the next competition. If I can find the answers, where are we? Right, okay, so you might be pleasantly surprised here. I mean, I've got to be honest with you. The number 2, the Chinese girl, she didn't look Chinese, does she? She does look Thai, but I don't, in purpose, try to make it difficult. It's just what pictures I haven't used before and what I can get. And at the end of it, when I've done it, I look at it and I think, oh, this is going to be easy or it's going to be difficult. So everybody gets it right in the last 5 minutes. Don't worry about that. Right, okay, we'll do Joke of the Week now. And then I've got a pretty decent Monger minute for you lined up, which is actually about 1.5 minutes tonight. So let's do Joke of the Week, okay? Cringe time. A man's wife was on her deathbed. Her husband, John, was maintaining a vigil by her side. He held her fragile hands. Tears ran down his face. His praying roused her from her slumber. She looked up and her pale lips began to move slightly. My darling John, she whispered. Hush, my love, he said. Rest, don't talk, but she was insistent. John, she said in her tired voice, I have something I must confess to you. There's nothing to confess, replied the weeping John. Everything's all right. Go to sleep now. No, I must die in peace, John. I slept with your brother, your best friend, and your father. I know, John replied. That's why I poisoned you. There you go. You can take your fingers out your ears now. Right, let's do the Monger Minute. As always, quite a good one tonight. There you go, a very pleasant monger minute. Okay, it's not porn, it's a monger minute. Right, I like that actually. Let me just put that up there. Adrian Form says Philippines or bust. That was number 4. Good one there. Okay, let's have a look back into the chat. We've still got 2 more competitions and no more jokes of the week, so you're okay. Stephen Roberts. Stephen Casey Hotel's about the same, but you may pay for breakfast now. Food and drinks are up for sure. I never get up for breakfast anyway, Stephen. I think most people are not up for breakfast on this channel. Right, JB, who else is getting ready for the month? Okay, we've done that. Let me get down to some of the newer ones here. Right, Paul Hoskin, at this rate, I'm going to run out of utterly butterly. Okay. Paul Harrison, well, that last girl, yeah, that's the girl in red. Yeah, she had a very seductive look, didn't she, at the end? That fade her out. I don't know if you realise, but I do try and match it, the music. I try and match the clips to the music. I don't just kind of whack them in any sort of order because it starts off slow and then I try and get, when it speeds up, I try and get it. So it's a little bit of work, but it's worth it. I enjoy playing about with things like that. Right, Paulie Buffalo 555, some stunners there, yeah. Franco De Rosa, Marky Mark, snap. I'm not a big fan. Okay. You're waiting for the ladyboy competition, aren't you, Franco? Right. Right. Yours travels last go by a mile. Yeah, the girl in red, she's beautiful, lovely, seductive smile. Only in Thailand says, Peter, did you ever find out if going to Thailand after October, the first on the 40-day? I still haven't found out. You know, you're talking about the 60 days, right? And it would be great if it was 60 days. I'll tell you where I heard it. I heard it on Nick's channel, NDTV, one Sunday. His exact words were, he said, I haven't confirmed it, but I'm 99% sure that you'll get 60 days. And I went off and did a lot of research. And what I found is everywhere I look, whether it's a Thai, let me just get rid of that, whether it's a Thai embassy website or wherever I read it, they all said the same. You get 45 days when you come in and you can extend that. But nobody said for how long. So I'll be able to tell you when I'm in Thailand, won't I? Because the difference between being able to extend it for 30 days as opposed to 60 days, it will be £100 cheaper because I'll only pay the £100 once, won't I? Right, Matthew. Breakfast is getting up for the Thai woman that is hopefully still in your room. Okay. Ken, is it? Ken Christopherson. Peter, the Hooters competition in Thailand, who won? I didn't watch it to the end. I'll tell you why. I watched several YouTubers have done that competition. I mentioned this last week, so I'll keep it brief. The one I watched was Lucas, when Lucas from Ride for Kicks did it. I didn't watch it to the end because I was quite kind of annoyed with it in a way. The reason I was annoyed about it because you had to. It didn't matter what the girl looked like. It was the one who got the most roses, and one girl, she got 2 roses, you know, whereas another one got over 100. You know, and I said this last week. I'm not a white knight, but you know, I'd have blown a couple of thousand just to give her. I felt so sorry for her, but it was just. It kind of looked like exploitation to me saying that exploitation, but it did. I didn't like the competition at all because I just felt like it wasn't. I just didn't like it. Right. Not because I don't like pretty girls. I just don't like the way it was run, how it was set up, and how it was done. I just think it was kind of like embarrassing for some of the girls. Okay. Right, Crocodile Sunday, is it? I used to think South American women had the prettiest woman on the planet, but I've changed my mind. It is the Thai women. Yeah, that's what, unfortunately, that's what gets a lot of guys, you know, when they lose everything. Ben Elliott says, great manga minute. Yeah, thanks for that, Ben. I only play it once now because Bob's the guy who I did the video, the guy I made the video with, who lives next to Elan Common when I did the Thai festival down there. Big grin on his cheek, but he said, he phoned me up and he says, blimey, he says, you've done the manga minute 3 times. I had to go make a cup of tea. So I'm starting to get a few complaints in, you know, so once only now. Good evening, Ian. Good to have you in. Just turned in for breakfast. What a wake-up treat. Normally go for a couple of hours. Ian, it's good to see you in. I always read your comments with interest. I know you like the stories, and I know why. I won't say here. But yeah, good to see you in the stream. Haven't seen you before. It's actually here in the UK. It's 9:15 at night. Hence why we're having our own kind of coffee. Okay. Clive says, denim shorts won. I'm done now. Night joke. I'm still here. Okay. Charles Saunders, Marky Mark, I agree. Okay, you talk to somebody else. Yeah, I didn't answer your question, Ken. I don't actually know who did win that Hooters competition. Like I said, I didn't watch it all the way to the end. Franco, we were talking about tattoos, Mr. Hopkins. Yeah, and I was just joking, Franco, about the ladyboys. Don't worry. You're getting paranoid now, see? Right, Kevin Sutherland, enjoy your show, Peter. Looking forward to getting back to Thailand soon. And good morning to all people on the live stream. Kevin from Australia. Yeah, hi, Kevin. Good to have you in. Will Richardson, it's 45 exempt, then extend for 30 days. Okay, I don't doubt you will, but I'd be really interested to know where you got your information from, because we all know that you can extend for 30 days and you can extend a second time actually, but where did you get the information that it's not 60 days, it is actually 30 days? I'd like to know. I'm not disbelieving you, but I'd like to know where you found that, because I searched high and low and I couldn't find it anywhere. All right. Mason Sawyer, I believe the last girl in the Monger Minute is a model named Amy Chiranan, is it? Yeah, well, she's beautiful, wasn't she? Nice smile, nice figure. Yeah, more than likely. 4K chill vibes. The roses might not have been nice for the girls with less friends who came to support them, but it stops money being put in pockets instead of to the girls who were in the competition. Yeah, it was just a horrible competition, you know. Nothing against the girls, but I just didn't like it. You know, it was a kind of, the whole thing was kind of like, you know, one of those kind of, you know, you sit back and look at it kind of gritting your teeth. The girls are very pretty, but I just, like I said, I don't like the way it was organized. Right, Wilma, do you think the price of flights will come down next year? Who knows? Well, they won't come down to the point where they were while the fuel prices are going on. They're not going to come down as such, are they? I don't think you're going to be able to get a ticket for $550, but then again, they're pretty close. I mean, I know Andrew Hammond paid £630 for his ticket. I paid $700, but the only reason I paid $700, I actually got quoted $623 from Eva Air, but I chose to go with Thai Air, and that cost me £700. I've got to pay another £350 because I've changed it to come back in December now. But I think I'm actually going to change it again because you know, I don't want to come back in December. I'll probably come back in January, something like that. I said to my wife, I said, look, you know, I'm going away and everything. You know what's going on with me and my wife, separating as friends. I said, do you want me to come back for Christmas? You know, kids and all the rest of it. And she said, it's up to you. And I said, well, I know it's up to me. It's my house. I can come and go as I please. But shall I come back for Christmas? And she was like, it's up to you. And I said, well, that tells me what I need to know. I'll just stay out there then. There you go. Right. Thank you, Kevin. Nice one. Super sticker. You're a regular for that. I do appreciate it. Right. Dutch Farang, can I extend a 30-day visa exempt in my own country before I go to Thailand? No, you can't, Dutch Farang. If you want to do anything in your country, if you go to the embassy, they'll give you 60 days straight off the back, and then you can extend that again when you get to Thailand, giving you 90 days. I don't know how it's working now because you get 45 days from the 1st of October, which I'm quite lucky actually because I'm going in October, so I'll get that extra 2 weeks. So I suppose in theory I could stay 105 days because I get 45 days on arrival. I can extend for 30 days, and then a second 30 days, 105 days. A long time, isn't it? Nearly 4 months. Yeah, Trevor. No, you're absolutely wrong. If you go onto Google today and put them rates in, you are the one who's wrong, not me. Okay. I do them on the day of the stream. I don't do them a week earlier. Right, Red Farang. I thought you and Ed Sweeney are friends. What happened? We are friends. Nothing happened. Somebody else said that earlier. I don't know why people are assuming it's something to do with me. It's really not. I mean, Ed and I have done streams together. Ed's got my contact details. I've got his contact details. I haven't contacted him because he made his stance quite clear on his video. So it's nothing personal with me, but I respect what he said on the video. But somebody else said that earlier. I don't know why people are assuming it's got something to do with me. It's not. I don't know nothing about it. You know, I watched the video that somebody sent me, and I don't know any more or any less than you guys do. Right. I can't pronounce the name. Sorry. How is the house selling process going on? I did mention that earlier. I've got a guy who's very, very interested, but he lost the sale on his property. So if he gets that, then he'll come back. But I'm not getting any viewings now at all. You know, I think the interest rates have gone up 7 times in the last year so far. You know, I keep getting letters, mortgage has gone up, you know, terrible. I'm not really worried, to be honest with you. I spoke to my wife about it the other day, and I said, look, you know, I know we want to move on and do our own thing, but there's no point rushing and doing something stupid. You know, you're here, you're living in a nice house, the bills are paid. You know, I'll be in Thailand for 2-3 months. Just enjoy it, you know, relax, spend some time with the kids and kind of, you know, forget all the sort of things that have been going on. We've been sort of having little arguments, and we're both irritated. We need to move on now. We don't hate each other. There's no solicitors involved. We're just, you know, we've got to move on, and we're getting restricted now because of the financial situation, which isn't helping. I'm going to Thailand for 2 to 3 months. That'll give me some relaxation, some breather space. I'll be out of a toxic environment. Same with my wife. She hasn't got me on her back to argue with every day. So yeah, it'll be good. But we're not in a rush. I don't care if it doesn't sell this year. Right, Damon, 45 days on arrival until March, and apparently it's going back to 30 in March. Well, that suits me, because by March I'll be back here. Actually, I might be back out there in March. Peter Cross, please bring us up to date for those who do not know what's happening with your wife. We are confused. No changes, Peter Cross. I mean, basically, my wife is Korean. We've been together for 33 years. We've both decided that the kind of sparkle's gone out of the champagne glass now. She wants to move on and do her own thing. It's not about finding new partners, or she wants a new boyfriend, I want a new girlfriend. Nothing like that. We're not even going to get divorced. There's no solicitors involved. When I kick my clog, she'll get everything. There's a will left out to her. But, you know, she wants some space now. She's, you know, after 33 years together, it gets boring. You know, she wants to do her own thing. I want to go out to Thailand. I've said she's welcome to come out there if she wants to. And that's it. There's nothing more than that. You know, we're just parting as friends. There's no bad feelings. And, you know, what more can I say? Right, Nick T, change your background picture. Yeah, we haven't done that. Good point, Nick. Let's put something a bit more nicer on. Put these three lovelies on. There we go. How's that? If I forget, I'll change them again later. I've got a few lined up. Right, 4 chill vibes. Let me just see. What are you saying there, Red Frank? Thailand found, I'm English. Okay, I thought you were answering what I said earlier. Right, 4K chill vibes. Old Foggy, possibly go 808 or Republic may get lucky. Okay. Capo 17 says, Mark Hanley, correct, but even franchises have basic employee rules and respect. You must be talking about Hooters girls going out, I guess. Javier, again, I paid £995 from London Gatwick, one stop Dubai, January next year. I don't think the prices will go down significantly. I think that's quite expensive for January, especially that you're stopping off in the Middle East, because I go direct. I prefer direct. And I said, you know, this time of year, October, is a lot more busier than January. But I suppose it depends what date. I mean, if you're talking about going on the sort of 5th of January, then it's still high season as opposed to the 31st of January. JB says, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a monger man and I don't pay to talk. Okay. Dutch Frang, Chicago, nice man. I'm not sure yet. I'm happy the COVID travel restrictions dropped from 1st of October. Yeah. Somebody was telling me, you know, they've still got the rule where you've got to show your NHS pass that you've had your injections and stuff. But somebody was telling me that Heathrow, they didn't ask. And when he got to Thailand, they didn't ask, you know. Maybe some they do, some they don't. David says, no need to prove vaccination status on arrival in Bangkok from the 1st of October. Oh, so I don't need to. Actually, that's just, yeah, actually, to come to think of it, because I was going to print out all mine and take it again, but I don't need to now, do I? I just need to get there. Good stuff. Mind you, it's not a big deal, is it? Just printing it off. Right, Ken. Peter, I have the most of all your streams and you have never talked down to other streamers, always respectful. Oh, absolutely, because what happens, it comes back and bites you on the bum. If you start, there is one streamer who I do slate, but I've stopped slating him now because it's just giving him attention that I don't think he deserves. But generally speaking, the YouTube community, everybody knows each other for the most part. And you've got to be respectful if you want respect back, haven't you? I mean, sometimes people say things they don't really mean, or they have a drink and say something, they regret it the next day. But I've done it. I've apologized to people and said maybe I was a bit out of order last night. I mean, Bob in Bangkok, I said something to him in a text. I read it the next day and I thought that was a bit strong. I could have said it in a nicer way. And I just said, look, Bob, sorry, I didn't mean to kind of, you know, put it that way. And he was fine with me. But yeah, I mean, you can't, you've got to be respectful, on the internet. Peter Cross says, wow, 33 years, that's incredible. Kudos to both of you. Yeah, and like I said, Peter, it's you know, I'm giving her most of the money from the house sale because I don't actually need it. You know, when I say I don't actually need it, it doesn't mean because I'm loaded, I'm rich. What I'm saying is, when I go to Thailand, I can still kind of make some money. She's got very limited earning capacity, and I'd like her to get set up with my daughter so they got somewhere nice to live. Smaller, obviously, but you know, I'm not gonna just walk out and you know say, well, you get on with it. It's not my style. Right, she's nice on the right, says Paul Hoskin. So that would be your right. I'm guessing that one, right, Paul? Do you want me to move my head there a minute? Pure filth on this channel. Right, let's. Do you want to see some hardcore? These girls, look, these girls would suck the gold out of your teeth. Look, that's what you call hardcore. Right, the Wutong life again. Step out if your hotel and all you hear now is taxi, taxi, taxi. Okay. Okay, Crocodile Sunday. Peter, can you see yourself dating a Thai lady in the future? I don't know. You know what? If you read out 5 stories every week for the last 3 years, like I have, and I'd say 99% of them are crash and burn stories, it kind of gets you thinking, you know, am I going to be volume 178? I was married for 33 years and went out to Thailand, met this beautiful girl called Nok, and guess what? She left me my underpants. No, I don't know. I mean, seriously, you don't plan it, do you? I mean, I am a bit kind of, after all them stories, I'm a bit kind of like suspicious. Let's put it that way. I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not going out there certainly looking. I certainly don't want to live with anybody. You know, definitely not. I want to live on my own now. I've got more friends in Thailand than I have in England. Actually, it's weird. Right, only in Thailand. I'm going mid-October for 3 months. So at the moment, it will be a 60-day visa exempt from the Thai embassy, London, and a 30-day extension, Bangkok. Okay. But if they have increased the 30-day extension to 60 days, I will go out on a 45-day exemption and then get a 60-day. Yeah, okay, cool. Barber Fort, is it Barber Fort? I paid 580, return either air direct Heathrow to Bangkok, 18th of Jan. That's a really good price. That's just about nearly what it used to be pre-pandemic. I used to pay about anywhere between 530 and 570, depending on the time of year. Wilma says, what areas in Pattaya do you like to stay? I'm not going to tell you where my hotel is, but I'll just say this. I like to stay quite close to the beach road. I don't like to be stuck up, you know, right up the back of the second road or, you know, way out. You know, I like to be able to come out of my hotel and it's all there. I'm not a big fan of kind of the LK Metro pothole Tree Town area. I'm not a big fan of that area. I just find it a little bit too much like what I would imagine Spain would be like. You know, it's just not me really. I'm kind of old school. I still like those bars on the beach road if they're still there. I still like. I know 7, 8. They're quiet now, but there is Top of Soy 7. There's a few bars open. I like them kind of areas, and I kind of book my hotel to kind of fit in there so that I can roll home to bed at night, if that makes sense. Paul Harrison says, I'm going in January with a stopover in Jordan, and return flight was 595. It's not bad. You got that. Some people swear by the Middle East, you know, when you go through and you have that stop in the Middle East. And the reason they like it is because they say, well, you fly 6 hours, you get out, you stretch your legs, and then you do another 6 hours, and it's a good break in between. But personally speaking, I don't like that. Once I'm on the aircraft, I want to get off and think I'm in Thailand, you know, and I get leathered before I get on and just crash out on a window seat. Yeah, Javier says, yeah, you're exactly right, Peter, at the beginning of January. So that's why, yeah. Okay. That's a strange question. What we have on your first day in Thailand for breakfast? Well, my breakfast is normally about 4 p.m., you know. No, I mean, seriously, yeah, I don't really eat breakfast, to be honest with you, because I drink quite heavily when I'm in Thailand. I don't drink in the day, but I do enjoy a drink at night. And generally, when I normally eat something in the evening, and when I wake up, I'm just not hungry. I normally have my first meal of the day about 1 p.m., you know, that sort of time. But I'm like everybody else, you know, when I'm there, I do like a nice greasy fry up. If you're staying around Sukhumvit and you're looking for somewhere to have breakfast, you could do worse than the Nana buffet. It's a little bit greasy. So when you get your sausages and bacon and eggs and stuff, take plenty of tissues to dab it. But I'll tell you why it's good. I won't name the place, but I went to a couple of restaurants in Soi 4, and they're good breakfast, but it was 280 baht. They put the plate down with 1 cup of coffee, and that's it. When you've drank your coffee, it's 110 baht for the next cup of coffee. But the thing with a Nana coffee shop, it's 250 baht. The buffet's on till about, I think it's 10:30 or 11. And even if you go in and it's finished, you can say, can I have the buffet? And they'll bring it out on a plate. They'll say, what would you like? And the thing is, when I went in for the buffet, it was 250 baht. So you can have as many coffees as you want. There's orange juice, there's pineapple juice. You've got bacon, fried eggs, omelets, Thai breakfast if you're with a Thai friend, as much toast as you want. So for 250 baht, as opposed to, what was the breakfast? Was it 280 or 180? I can't remember. But you can set yourself up for the day. So if you're one of those people who wakes up quite late because you've been out on the town, as it were, and you wake up kind of 11 o'clock say 10 o'clock, 10:30, and you feel really hungry and you want to set yourself up for the day, you're not going to have another meal till the evening, you can go in the Nana coffee shop and fill up for 250 baht, which is 250 baht. It's a fiver, is it? It's £5, which isn't bad. Like I say, the only downside, I found it a little bit greasy. So all I did to sort of compensate for that was I took lots of tissues and just padded down I don't eat sausages anyway, but the eggs and the bacon, and it was perfectly fine. And the thing is, you're not going to eat it every day, are you? So what I liked about it is I could have as many coffees as I wanted, because I drink a lot of coffee in the morning. That's one thing I do like, a nice coffee. I don't drink tea anymore. Right. Tony Foley, yeah, that's correct. We read that out earlier. They are dropping that. Bernard Purcell, so give her the house. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the missus. Yeah, definitely. Not all of it, most of it. Right, Marky Mark. Have your daughters ever been to Thailand? Will they be coming out to visit? I did ask my younger daughter, and she said she would come out. But what really pissed me off about my younger daughter is girls have tattoos these days. I hate them, absolutely hate them. And my daughter got one on her leg, on her thigh at the top, and it's a Buddha's head. And I was like, my God, if you come out to Thailand, you go swimming, you're going to offend people. So but she said she'll come out, but I don't like that Buddha's head on her leg. My other daughter got one as well, and it was, they're not, they're not like this girl in the photograph here. But I just don't like tattoos, full stop, on girls anyway. Okie dokie. Right, okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, Dutch Frank, Nomyai Inspector 3-day rule. Yeah, that's something that's kind of annoying me a little bit. I'd like to think it is stopped by the time I get there. It rained like cats and dogs in Thailand. Simon was telling me about that. He said he came out in Soy Cowboy and the rain was literally over his knees. I mean, all the filth of the street, go on your body. I don't like the thought of that very much. And Damien said when he was there, he went for a massage. And of course, when it was finished, it was absolutely hammer it down. And he ended up spending 3 hours sitting in this massage parlor waiting for it to stop, So, I mean, October, generally, it starts to dry up. I mean, I hope it, it must be global warming. Mike, technically, no, you don't need a return flight. Technically, no. But what I would say, it just makes life so much more difficult because they want to see, you're going in on a visa exempt. They want to know that you're actually leaving. You'll have a lot of awkward questions if you're going on a single ticket. Okay, Yoss says, I paid 80,000 Avios points for my BA direct return flight to Singapore. Okay, I don't actually know what Avios points are. Jimmy the Frog, any suggestions for hotel near Pattaya within good walking distance from Walking Street where I'll be able to get a good night's sleep? Well, you do have live bands these days. That's the thing. I mean, live bands are okay, but when you're trying to sleep, they're not good. I made the mistake. When the Eastern Inn opened up on Soy 8, I was the first guest to stay in that room. It opened up about 90, I think it was 95 or 96. And I checked in and it was a lovely brand new hotel, good night's sleep. And then I went back there recently about 3 years ago. And I didn't realize this was before COVID, every bar has a live band. And the thing is with the Thai live bands, the little bands that you get in the bars, it's not about quality, it's about quantity. So what they do, you'll have all these bars in Soy 8 with live bands and they're all trying to outplay each other as far as loudness goes. It's I said to myself, never again. I won't be sleeping there again. Okay, so I think we'll do another competition, guys. Okay, this is a one-off. Okay, so the idea of this, somebody gave me the idea, and I can't remember who's told me, and I thought, yeah, it's a good idea. Let me just make sure I get this right now. Right, okay. So this is one I've never done before. It's similar to the other ones, but it's different in as you're going to see 8 pictures of girls, okay? 7 of them are Thai girls. Only one of them isn't Thai. So the object of the game obviously is to tell me the number of the one girl you think isn't Thai. So it's not the other way around. Don't get confused. So 8 pictures, 7 of them are Thai girls. One of them is not Thai, and I want to know which of the girls is not Thai. Okay, you've got a full minute to suss this out. Okay, so only one of them wasn't Thai. Which one was it? Let's get through this real fast now. Farang Travels, no. Matthew Cartwright, no. Red Farang, no. Yours Travels, no. Russ UK, no. I can't say that name. Is it Gilawam de Chambria? Is it? No. Simon Goodson, no. Corporate Mahan, no. Alex Curtin, no. Clive, no. Barry from East Enders, well done, you got it. Smiley McGee, no. Jason Finch, no. Mark Hanley, no. Javier or Javier, no. To be, not to be, no. Tom Yum Guy, no. Good to have you in, Tom Yum Guy. Jimmy the Frog, no. Almas, no. Thailand Found, no. Oni in Thailand, yes. Mike Sands, no. Alexander the Great, no. Rob, no, mate, you haven't got it. Marky Mark, no. I'm going to have to call you up, Marky Mark, and give you an answer because you never get anything right. I feel a bit guilty. Will Richardson, no. Darcy, no. Richard Meller, is it? No, sorry. Red Frang again, no. Chillax from Burma, no. No Burmese girls in tonight. Big C, no. World Traveller, no. Tom Wilson, no. Dave Stewart, no. I thought a few more to get this right. Ian 150, no. Richard Polak, is it? No. Heck Daddy, no. A then, no. Real Space Hobo, no. Innovations Reality, no. John Rockbury, is it? No. Jason Finch, no. Super Nice, no. John Phillips, no. Not really. Right, I'm just going to go right through. I'm just going to read out the right answers now because it's going on a bit. Ben, you got it right. Anyone else? For anyone else? Hello. No, I'm going to go right through this. Does anybody else? There must be a few more have got this right. No. Well, this is going to surprise you when I put the answer up. I'll have to make it a bit easier if I don't think I'm going to do this competition again because it was really hard to find the pictures. Right, Jan K, you got it right. Bike Packer, you got it right. Jason Finch, you got it right. All the right answers coming in again at the end. Franco, oh, surprise, surprise. STE Billabo, yes, you got it. Glenn Hendricks, you got it. It's funny, isn't it? All the right answers come up at the end. Right, I see one is great. Clive, now you got it right, Clive, finally. Okay, all right, let me put you out of your misery. So remember, we're just looking for the girl who isn't Thai, okay, who isn't Thai. Here we go. Yeah, those Filipino girls always catch you out, don't you? They're very, very similar looking. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We've still got the ladyboy competition at the end, towards the end. But before we get into anything else, guys, I've got the daisies are dead now, by the way, but I've got to nip out and just see if there's any left. Okay, so I'll be back in about 30 seconds. And I am back. Oh, that's a bit low. Just sort this out before we carry on. Right, there we go. Okay, right, well done to anybody got that. I don't know if I'll do that competition again. I doubt it, because it's 3 competitions. There's a lot of work and it is hard to get the photographs. Okay, right, let's see what's going on in the chat world. Right. Damon says, remember to wash your hands, Peter. Yeah, okay. Right, Innovations Reality, which one was it? It was number 1, wasn't it? Darcy says, I like the music. You're into country and western, are you, Darcy? Then, and the Cambodians, but what the heck, have a girl from 6 Asian countries and I won't complain. Yeah, a lot they do, don't they? I mean, it's like English women and French women, or English women and Italian, well, not Italian, maybe, you know, the Europeans look very similar. And it's the same for certain races of Asians, especially Southeast Asians. Okay. Yeah, Smiley McGee says that's a sick buffalo. I think it's better now, Smiley McGee. Okay. Clive says that's unusual for you, Clive. Put that up there. Look, Clive says I'm pissed. That's unusual, as I say. Thailand fan says number 1 doesn't look angry enough. These are regular girls, actually. They're not. You know, I've got to be very, very careful when I put pictures up. It's really hard to get background pictures like this because you know a lot of pictures are small and they pixelate, so it's very hard to get the right ones. And you get sometimes you get 4 girls and one of them's a real minger, you know, so it doesn't quite go. And you know, I can't put pictures really of bar girls, you know, like semi-naked, because YouTube can get a bit funny. So you know, just regular girls, it's better than having a you know, a wall or something in the background, isn't it? Right. The eyes on number 2. Okay. Rob says, I never get any right. But you did when you were there, didn't you, Rob? You said you could distinguish the ladyboys at least, where you never got any right in the competition. Oh, you're there, Sheila. Wow, number 2. Yeah. We did mention you earlier because I said I'd spoken to you, but I can't remember what it was I was talking about now. But good to have you in the stream. Right. Nick S says, does number 7 need a half farang, baby? I volunteer to help. Okay, that's the competition. Who was number 7? Let me have a quick look again on that one. Number 7. I can't make sure I don't put the answers to the ladyboy up there. Yeah, it's quite an old picture, actually. 90s, something like that. Right. Okay. JB, go on, Peter. Whack that. Strong and okay, too much information again there. Some of these I can't read out. Right, Red Frank says the 2 on your left side used to work in Queen Agogo. Okay, that's those 2. Okay, well they're dressed pretty decently there, aren't they? I've got some more here, but some of them are really old pictures. This was a really old picture. You see that everywhere, don't you? Okay, Jimmy the Frog. Cheers for the suggestion of Soy 14 Grand Hotel. I'll check it out. Okay. Yeah, Jimmy the Frog, I would give you some recommendations, but you know, to be honest with you know, the best way to pick a hotel in anywhere in Thailand, let me just get rid of this because it's a bit old. Yeah, I'll put that one up. Right, the best way to pick any hotel in Thailand, right? Agoda is the #1 hotel booking site in Thailand, without a doubt, right? So when you're looking for a hotel, decide which area you want to stay. So if you want to stay on the beach road in Pattaya, for instance, when you go into Agoda, you can actually nail it down. You know, you can put Pattaya, you can put the name of the soy wherever. You can put close to Walking Street, and they'll bring up a list of different hotels. You can put your budget in, everything you need, and you'll get it there. And they've all got the addresses, and you can put them into Google Maps and see exactly where they are. That's all people do when they don't know Thailand very well. Agoda is definitely the way to go. A lot of people, as usual, saying hello to you, Sheila. Paul Harrison says, look at all the Connect 4 players. Yeah, absolutely. Clive says, at this stage, I'll take anything, mate. It's Friday night, baby. Ladyboys, fit women, etc. Okay. Ken, don't worry about it, Ken. There's a lot of people. It's really, all the competitions are really difficult. It's very easy for me to say, I'm surprised not many people got it right, but it's me who put the competition together. So, of course, it looks easy for me, doesn't it? What else? I do like it hairy. Yeah, it must be incredibly difficult to get 8 photos of Asian women online. I do realize that is a sarcastic comment, but the thing is, you can't just go on to Google and start stealing images, because what happens, they have watermarks in them. People own those images, so you've got to make sure you either buy them from a site that will rent them to you, or you get them from a place they're not copyrighted. And that's quite a sarcastic comment, but I'm going to answer it in an adult way. You know, you can't just go onto Google and start pinching photographs, because I won't have a YouTube channel left, right? Absolute Spanner. How about 8 pics of buffaloes only? One of them poorly. Yeah, that would be good. Mark again. I just thought of an idea for another competition. Spot the non-Thai ladyboy. That'd be a really hard one, Mark, because it's only the Thais that really look, the ladyboys that really look like women. If you look at ladyboys from other countries, maybe a few Asian countries, but most of them, they're so distinctively men. It's a great idea, but I just think it'd be such an easy competition for everybody to get right, because the whole reason the Thai ladyboy competition is difficult is because they all look like women. But you start putting up like I don't know, I can't think of a country, but you know, some that stand out as automatically they look like guys, then it's going to be easy, isn't it? Right, Red Frank says, I'm 40 years old, but I have been going to Pattaya since I was 30. My dad lived there, so I used to go to all the Agogo and I-bar for the hottest girls. I try now, but they like my younger mates. Yeah, well, you're still young, 40. I mean, I first went out there in 91, so I was kind of 31. The first time I went to Pattaya, I was 32. And I was still pretty young, you know. I mean, I didn't have any fat on me. I think I was a half-decent looking guy. I'm 62 now, you know, and it's like I can't really handle go-go bars anymore. You know, they're really loud. And I was talking to somebody tonight, Carlson Road. I was there in December. I wanted to do some filming. I couldn't stand it. I mean, it's so loud. I mean, you know, I don't want to sound like an old man, but it's loud to the point where you can't even hold a conversation. At least if you go into a go-go bar, most go-go bars, and your friend's sitting next to you, you can hold a conversation. Yeah, the music's loud, but you can talk to each other. But Carlson Road, you just cannot hear. It's so loud. And, you know, when you get to my age now, I just can't do it anymore. You know, it's like, I feel really old. I've got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Right, let's have a look. Right, Damien, I definitely recommend the Det 5 restaurant in Soi 8, Bangkok, next to Stable Lodge for a tip-top English breakfast. Yeah, that is good. When I went in December, it was closed for a week because you recommended me that restaurant, Damien, if you remember. And no, it was closed for 2 weeks. I don't know. It was the first night I got there. It was open. I thought I'll go and have breakfast there tomorrow, and then it was closed. I thought, what's going on here? I thought they're out of business. And then the last week before I came back, they opened, and they're very, very good. Good food in there. It's an outdoor restaurant just past Stable Lodge. Very good. Not too expensive either. Some of the restaurants in Soi 8 are very expensive. Sheila, you're getting a semi from my what's that? Laugh out loud. You're getting a semi from my Peter. I'll fight you for him, JB. Okay. Right. What's going on here? Tom Young guy. Pattaya needs a geezer bar, damn it. No loud music. Well, there are bars like that, aren't there? I mean, they're all over, really. They're just the kind of expats hang out in them, but they can be a bit boring as well. I mean, I'm, you know, the thing is, I like to sit in a bar and look at pretty girls and have a nice drink and enjoy myself. I don't want to really go into kind of one thing I never did when I was in when I lived in Bangkok, especially. You'd get the hardcore expats who would always go out. Their night out would be in the Bull's Head or the Robin Hood or, you know, some English bar or some Irish bar. And I used to think to myself, well, I haven't come 6,000 miles to sit in an English pub. And these guys, that's all they do. They go to these English pubs, and that's just not me. You know, I'd rather go to, I mean, the good thing in those days about the English bars or the Irish bars, it wasn't like today where you can get a roast dinner anywhere. It was quite hard to find. And you'd go to, say, the Bull's Head in Soy 33, which is now gone now, as is the Robin Hood. And for a reasonable price, you could get a full-on Sunday roast, you know, chicken, beef, the full works, roast potatoes. And it used to be a real treat back then because there weren't many places you get it 30 years ago. It's not like now every other restaurant in Pattaya you can get a roast, right? Back then it was kind of hard to find, as is 30 years ago. Bread was very hard to come across. You know, you go in, I remember the first time I went in 7-Eleven and I seen sandwiches in the fridge. I thought I'll try one of these. They had like a green fit. It looked like jam, but it was bright, a luminous green. And I took one bite of it. It was like a donut. It was so sweet, straight in the bin. So yeah, a lot of improvements as far as food goes. But though, on your point there, I would pop in to say the Bull's Head for a Sunday lunch if I felt like a real good roast. But you know, I wouldn't go to those places and drink because I just found them boring. Nomia Inspector says Sailor Bar is cheap. I like the food in the Sailor Bar. I met Trevor in there on my first sort of night down there. It's opposite. I was staying in a hotel, the first hotel on the right as you come up from the beach road. It's called I think it's Flipper Lodge, and opposite there is a Sailor Bar. And Trevor wasn't keen on the food in there, but I found it incredibly cheap for what you get. And I ate a lot of meals in there, actually. I thought it was really good. Right. Only in Thailand. Carlson Road should have a health warning. Under 30 only. Old mongers not welcome. Well, you are welcome, but it's just, you know, I had a friend went there tonight. He's about my age, a little bit younger, maybe he's 50. And he went there with his daughter, who went to meet the friends there. I think she's about 23, 22. And he said they had a good time. He said, but it was all weed and loud music, and you know, he couldn't wait to get out of there. Up to me, Annie Jack Bar across from Tree Town, over 30 lovely girls. The owner doesn't have the music loud, so you can talk to the girls. Great bar. Okay. Kevin Sutherland, most of the Australian women in Australia has stuck up because I'm not a pretty boy. That's why I go to Thailand. I feel like a human being when I'm there, not like a stray dog in Australia. That's a really good point, actually. A lot of people who come on to streams and they haven't been on this site before, and they'll just, you know, these are the guys who'll come on, oh, you're all dirty old men, you know, you should be all locked up and all this sort of thing. But what they don't realize, you know, or they'll leave comments and say, you do realize these girls are only using you for money, or they don't really like you and all that. But it's not about that, is it? At the end of the day, you know, if you're a single guy living in Australia and, you know, you don't get out much and you can go to Thailand, it's not all about, you know, the big S, as it were, the Connect 4 game. It's not all about that. I mean, it's just about being in a nice environment with nice people to give you a smile when you go in their bar. You know, you eat nice food, you can hang out with certain people if you want to. And yeah, okay, you pay your way and all the rest of it. But, you know, it's just nice to get away, isn't it? 4 chill vibes, Old Fogarty, Russian bars are scams. Meet them in the club or on Tinder. Okay. I've never been in a Russian. Again, I don't want to travel 6,000 miles, you know, for that sort of thing. Right, Mark Hanley, is that still around? I thought that had gone out of business, the Tahitian Queen. I think that's the oldest. It was the oldest go-go bar in Pattaya. I mean, I remember going in there in 1992, walking down Beach Road at 2 in the afternoon. There's a go-go bar. You go in, and it takes about 30 seconds before you can actually see anything because you're out in the bright lights, and then you go into this dark environment. And yeah, I mean, but I'd heard it had closed down. Then I heard it opened again after somebody made a crowdfunding website for it, or account, and they got the money to open it, and then it went under again. So anybody know, is it open? Is it closed? It wasn't particularly my sort of place. It was more of a biker bar. The bikers liked it because they could park on the road right outside, as opposed to like when you couldn't drive on Walking Street. Okay, Tom Young Guy. I really like the FCC in Phnom Penh. They have a side nook with a view of the street and ocean. Nice stuffed leather chairs, antique deco, hardwood table. Great spot to line up a pipe and sip a bourbon. Okay, sounds very, very nice. Okay, Alamas says, I miss the sound that flip-flops make. I've never worn flip-flops. It's not something... I've worn Crocs, but I wouldn't be seen dead in them. I wear them in the house because I have to go from the house to my little office here, you know, in the garden. But if somebody comes, the doorbell goes, the Crocs are out the back, you know. Right, Smiley McGee's still open. Right, Marky Mark. Thailand checks every box. There's no other place like it. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so Barbara Fort says the Tahitian Queen is still open according to NDTVI. Okay, well they should know, shouldn't they? Because they're fairly close there. Peter Cross says in Sansong Soy 6 patio is still as active. I haven't been in Soy 6 at night when all the bars are open. Trevor took me down there when I visited in December, but it was in the daytime and everything was closed. I haven't actually. I speak to Brian Flowers quite often, and I'm going to meet up with him and Phil from Le Pub. I've never met Phil. I didn't go out of my way not to meet him, but I've never met him. And apparently he's quite a nice guy. I've heard a few reports from different people. Phil's got a bar called Le Pub. Like I said, I haven't met him. Apparently he's a nice guy. I will make an effort to pop in and see him. He's got this thing in his head where I was annoyed. He did some animations like the Nat and Dave, but he was using the same software. And he's got this thing in his head that I was annoyed about it. And I really wasn't. I think it was because people were writing to him and saying, hey, that's Nat from Thailandbound. You're copying it. But I never actually said anything. So it didn't bother me because it's just like he says, it's in the software. But, you know, it's all water under the bridge anyway. And like I say, a couple of people have told me he's a real nice guy. Damon told me he was a nice guy. Brian Flowers told me he was a nice guy. When I went there in December, I met quite a few people and I just never bumped into him. But I will. I'll make the effort when I'm down there for 6 days in, when am I there? Next month, in 2 weeks. So when I'm there in about 3 weeks in Pattaya, I'll either swing by his bar or I'll drop him a message and meet up with him for a coffee or something. And then I've met him. Okay. Right. Will Richardson, Phil's bar is spot on. Okay. And you know, the other thing is I've never watched any of his streams. It's not because, I'm not watching that guy. It's just because I spend so much time on YouTube doing stuff for my own channel. I just don't get around to watching other YouTubers as much as I want to. Mark Hughes, Hugh Hin to Pattaya Ferry has closed down a long time ago. Mark, it was a good service actually. 1,200 baht for the regular or 1,400 baht for the VIP. You cross the Gulf of Pattaya, the Gulf of Thailand from Pattaya to Hua Hin and vice versa. It was a good service, but it went out of business. Elfin's Barmy Army, no ferry now. Yeah, absolutely correct. Bend over. Some armpit on the girl on your right side. Yes, possibly. Have I got any new ones? Let's have a look. I like to change these. Right, we'll leave this one up here. I think that's the best one tonight. That one. Quick look at Smiler in the middle there. Okay. Okay, Tommy Guy. I like his streams. He's funny. Well, I'll have to try and catch one. I know somebody told me he does like killer pool with the girls. But then there's other people doing that as well now, isn't there? Yeah, Pulley Buffalo says Phil has a new place called Milk opening soon next door. Yeah, I see guys wearing the t-shirt. I'll try and grab one of his t-shirts when I'm there. I don't know if he'll have one big enough for me now because I put weight on. Okay, Damon says it's open, Peter the Queen, and yes, Bikers Bar. There was money donated to keep it open. It's up and running now. Okay, like I say, Damon, it's not the sort of place I'm gonna go out of my way to go into because I don't go into go-go bars in the daytime as a rule because I don't drink in the daytime. And it just wasn't really my sort of place. I'm not criticizing; it just wasn't my sort of place. My favorite place was always the Happier Go-Go on Walking Street, opposite the Marina Disco. That was sad. I went to the Marina Disco 3 years ago, and in the 90s, it was a real happening place. All the bars are closed, and everybody, all the bar girls, everybody went to the Marina Disco. There were no pool tables because you couldn't fit anyone in. It was packed wall to wall, and it didn't close till 6 a.m. Fantastic. And I went there 3 years ago, and because it's such a big area, what they've done, they put pool tables around the edge to kind of make it not look so empty. And it's a shell of its former self. It was still okay, but it looks dated now. It's tired, and it has a lot of competition. But I've got some very good memories from that Marina Disco. As I have Soy Diamond across the way there. It's still there, but it's not what it's had its day, hasn't it? Ken, Mr. Phil is Mr. Egg. Yep. Mark says Minga's playing pool on a live stream. Is it my tickle? I haven't actually seen the live stream myself. I'm just all I'm saying is I haven't met Phil, and a couple of people said he's a real nice guy. Damon met him and he said he was a real nice guy. I hadn't had an opinion on him, whether he was a nice guy or whether he wasn't a nice guy. I just never met the guy, and I never watched his stream because I just never caught it. Right, Thailand fan. Peter, is it going to be a long one? We've been going 2 hours. No, it won't be tonight. Red Farang again. Phil is a great guy. He's got me my first bank account. It was in a go-go. If you can believe that, you can ask him. Okay. Well, I don't disbelieve anybody here. Marine Disco was great. Yeah. I mean, there's so much competition now, isn't there? In the I mean, the thing is, in those days, back in the early 90s, you didn't have the competition. There were lots of little like almost corny beer bars. They just didn't put the money into them. And the Marina Disco was like the main place. It was like the place to be. And every bar girl in Pattaya went to the Marina Disco. But of course, you've got all these, all these other clubs have opened up now, and it kind of spreads it out. It's not as, it's not like you've got everybody in one place. Right, JB says, how annoyed would you be if you got your favourite soapy place and Philip Schofield pushed in and took all the best looking girls? Well, he wouldn't, would he? Because he's gay. He came out the closet after so many years. Okay, Yosh Travel says, just subbed to Mr. Egg. Okay, he'll be happy with that. Killer Pool is a serious sporting event. Hua Hin is a very good pool, a very big pool town. There's a lot of people in Hua Hin play pool. They have a league. And there's some very, very good players in Hua Hin. And if you're into golf, there's some world-class golf courses around Hua Hin. There's a big Korean one about half an hour out of Hua Hin. It's called the Korean something or other, but it's a massive golf course. So Hua Hin, if you're into golf or pool, that's the place to be. Right, Mark Hanley says, competition of bars and YouTubers now sounds a hideous environment to get involved in. Okay, I don't know about the bars, but YouTubers, yeah, I mean, there's a lot more people doing it, especially Thailand now. I've noticed it. My numbers have slowed down. I don't know if it's the time of the year. I can't remember last year. I enjoy doing it. Right, another one. No, Ricky, is Ed Sweeney at war with you? No, absolutely not. I don't know any more than you do. I keep repeating this because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Ed and I have done streams together. He would have messaged me. He's got my contact details. I'm sure if he had a problem with me, he would have contacted me and said, hey, Peter. He wouldn't have made a video and put it out there. Okay, somebody's upset him, but it isn't me, and I don't know any more than you know. I've had people write to me and try and get snippets of information, and I really don't know anything. Somebody sent me the video and said, have you seen this? And I watched it. I was like, whoa. But other than that, I haven't contacted him because he made it really clear in that video. I don't want anything to do with any other YouTubers. So, okay, I respect that's what you want to do. It's not aimed at me. It's aimed at all YouTubers. So, fair enough. Yeah, probably. That's what I was thinking. I'm not going to say it. I'll leave it up there. But I was actually thinking that as well. Yeah. Michael DiCaprio. Peter, I'm around your age and always analysts say really 60 is the new 50. You should be bouncing. I am bouncing, Michael. Look, I'm having a coffee here. Look. Oh, that's strong coffee. Right. Natural in the buff Vietnamese lady. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to, Right. Okay. I'll put that up there. I don't want to keep talking about it, but there you go. I mean, it's just a guessing game, isn't it? We can guess all night, can't we? But what's the point? It's very difficult sometimes. I'm not a sympathy merchant, but the thing is, when you're in the limelight and you have quite a few followers, like Ed and I have got about the same amount now. I think he's a couple of thousand more than me. It does get to you sometimes. Sometimes when you wake up, you're in a good mood. You put your email on, you open your email, and somebody. I mean, I had a guy last week. It really didn't bother me because I know he was just a jackass, really, as the Americans would say. But I had a guy who wrote me a message and he said, I'll try and get it for word now. He said, oh, I can't wait till you get to Bangkok in 2 weeks' time because I know what you look like. You don't know what I look like. I'll be in Sukhumvit looking for you and I'm going to punch your lights out. That's the email he sent to me. Well, what can you say to that, right? What can you say? And I mean, that sort of guy who writes a message like that, I'll tell you exactly what he'll do if he sees me in Sukhumvit. He'll cross the bridge and he'll go the other way because he won't have any balls. Because people who do that, they don't write emails and tell you they're going to do it. They just do it, right? And so when you get these kind of messages, I'll get worse than that. I get like women in America or England, wherever, they'll write me messages and I don't even read them now. I'll start reading it And in the old days, I used to reply and say, no, that's not right. I used to try, but now I'll start off reading. As soon as it starts off and it says something like, oh, you're a, what? I just think, bang, gone, goodbye. And I move on because it's really not worth my time, is it? You know, so the whole point of that story was the video that you were talking about that was put out this week. I can understand it's not, I don't think I'd have put out a video like that, but I can understand why, because sometimes it can get to the point where you think, what's the bloody point? You know, you do all this and you get so much crap sometimes. But it's, you know, it goes with the territory, doesn't it? You know, okay. Right, Javed says, Peter, can I ask you about vlogging a dead horse? What is your sincere opinion about it? If it was bad, I wouldn't say here. And if it was good, I would say here. But I don't know the guy. I mean, I've never watched any of his videos. Did I watch any of his videos? I think I caught a couple of minutes of one where he was in a zoo. He got chased out of a zoo in Phuket or something like that. But I don't really have an opinion on him because he's not. All I say, when I haven't got anything against the guy, and I don't know him, and I haven't really watched his channel too much, well, at all, really. So I honestly, I'm not just saying this, Javier. I don't have an opinion on him. If you ask me about somebody who I know really well, I'll give you my opinion on them. But this guy, I don't know him. Let me know why you've written that question. You've obviously got an opinion that something you say. I'll put it up. You know, as long as there's no swearing in it. No, that's coming up, Donald. Did I miss the Ladyboy competition? I was just about to do it because I'm feeling tired now, and I thought I'll do the Ladyboy competition. I'll call it a night. But you know what? I just had a drop of my special coffee here, and I kind of feel revitalized. So I've been going 2 hours. I'll give it another 10 minutes on the comments, and then we'll do that, and then we'll see. I nearly missed the beginning of the stream tonight. Thank heavens Damon reminded me, because you know I used to start at 9 o'clock, and I'd be finishing at close to midnight. It's like I was so tired. And then I was out with Benji tonight at 7:30, and Damon, I said this at the beginning, Damon called me up and he says, oh, I just got in, I'm knackered, you know, it's been a hard week, I'm glad to finish, and I'm off next week. And I'm like, oh yeah, what time is it now then? You just got home? He says, yeah, it's 7:30. And then it just clicked, I'm doing a stream at 8, and I was like 15 minutes away with the dog, and I was like, you know, I was that was the fastest shower I've had in my life. Don't mention the petrol guy, only in Thailand. Who's the petrol guy? You know what my memory's like? Peter, don't mention the petrol guy. I don't know who that is. Who's that? The petrol guy. Nomi Inspector says, yeah, just block them. Well, I do, but the thing is, I mean, you've even seen in the stream tonight, you know, people are the way they put messages out there, they're kind of sarcastic, aren't they? Like the guy who said, when I said the pictures are very hard to come by, he left a comment. Now, you've seen it yourselves, right? He said, oh, yeah, it's really hard to find pictures on the internet of girls. Well, he's just been totally an arse, isn't he? Because he's like, well, you can just go on and take them down. And you can't do that. But this is a sort of thing we have to put up with. So when somebody leaves a comment like that, your first instinct is to get this defensive and have a go at him. But there's no point. There's no point. So I'll block anything that I want to block. Anything like that, I'll block. But I get emails, I get WhatsApp messages. People find my number all over. And it's just, you know, I just look at it and it's like, you know, when you get one of those dogs that bites at the bottom of your trousers and it's shaking and you're kicking your leg and it won't let go. And it doesn't really bother you. It's just annoying, is it? And then you finally boot it in the head and it drops off. I wouldn't really do that, but you know what I mean, right? It's kind of similar to that. Okay, so Barry, I don't know. Maybe you can elaborate on that. I don't know about that, Barry. Like I said, I've never watched him. I mean, he's got quite a few subscribers. I think that when I was seeing that, I think it was just about 30 seconds. He was riding off from the zoo, and I looked, and he had quite a few subscribers. So obviously, he's popular. Yeah, Polly Buffalo says the internet is full of keyboard warriors with personality and mental health issues. I think we've all got mental health issues on here, haven't we? Right. Richard, you're a generous man. That's the second one you've done tonight. I definitely owe you a bit of dinner when we meet up in Bangkok. Good stream tonight. Thank you, Richard. I'm actually doing something that I promised myself I'd never do again. I'm kind of having a little whinge about people who are not very nice. And sometimes people write to me the next day and say, listen, you did a good stream. Just don't talk about that because it's very negative and we don't want to hear it and all the rest of it. But sometimes it's hard not to. And, you know, people have been asking me about that video that Ed put out. And like I say, I'm trying to sympathize with him and saying, you know, it was a bit kind of strong, but sometimes you feel like you do feel like putting out a video like that. Right, Tommy Guy Hanley, yeah, he did tend to say what he was thinking. He's better at self-editing now. Who are you talking about, Tommy Guy? I mean, the one thing I will respect about Ed, I mean, I've always liked him. I've always followed his channel. I like his live streams. The one thing I will say, which I respect, he is very, I think it was a good decision on his part. Although he made that video, I think it was a good decision that he didn't name names, because he wouldn't have really gained anything from that, naming people. And it just would have started World War III, because what would have happened, whoever he named would have retaliated, and then he'd have his camp of supporters. That person would have their camp of supporters. It'd get really ugly. It'd all be playground stuff. And that's not what we do YouTube for, is it? So, I mean, I think he made the right decision in just telling people what he wanted them to know and not actually naming anybody. You know, that was quite a good decision. Right, let's end that now. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Thailand found again. Javier Lopez looked at his vids when he was in Thailand. Didn't bother when he was out of Thailand. My interest is in Thailand. Just the okay. There's a lot. I didn't realize how many people have got YouTube channels in Thailand now. There's a lot of them. I mean a lot. Yeah, Clive, Ladyboy time. Give it 5 minutes, Clive. We'll do a Ladyboy comment. We've still got nearly 400 in. Yeah, he's got about 9K, but he's stalled. Probably the reason for that is if he had a lot of people, like I said, I don't know the guy, I don't know his channel really, but I'm just giving an opinion based on what you guys have said. The stalling aspect of it, maybe he gained those subscribers because people are genuinely interested in Thailand. And once you leave Thailand, you start doing something completely different, Malaysia or Singapore, wherever he went, then those not people who were subscribing are maybe like, oh, this doesn't interest me anymore. But then hopefully he'll get his own crowd from Malaysia or Singapore or wherever he goes, right? But we've all stalled. I mean, I've slowed down a hell of a lot. And it's not, you know, without looking into it too much, it's just the time of the year. I mean, look, remember, you're talking about, you know, guys who've got YouTube channels with subscribers watching, all the rest of it. Don't forget, during lockdown, nobody could go to Thailand. People were bored. They got sick of the TV. There's only so much on Netflix. And people were watching a lot of YouTube, including me. I wasn't necessarily watching Thailand YouTube channels, but I was watching, you know, there's a lot of movies on YouTube. People don't realize there's a lot of free films on YouTube, but they're a little bit dated. But I like those older 80s and even 60s movies. You know, I like them. I really like them. And there's some good documentaries on YouTube. So I think everybody was watching YouTube a lot more during lockdowns because they had no choice. And of course, everything's opening up now. There's more and more people going to Thailand. People don't need to sit in front of a computer now and learn about Thailand because they can just get on a plane and go there. The whole point about the live streams, like somebody else said, it's not to get lots of new subscribers because that doesn't happen on a live stream. When you put out a video, what happens is somebody will watch your video on a particular subject. And say the stories that I read out, right? So somebody will look at them stories and think, I enjoyed them. That was half an hour stories. I really enjoyed that. This is what this guy does. I'm going to subscribe because I want to hear his stories next week. That's how it works, right? But if you're doing a live stream, what you're doing is you're bringing a kind of community together and you're all having, it's like a bunch of guys in the pub on a Friday night. You all know each other. We're all meeting and there's a bit of banter going on and it's good fun. But you know, new people who come along who don't know me or watch this and think, who's this guy with the pictures in the background? Then they'll move to another channel. So as far as getting new subscribers go, it has slowed down for everybody. And I think that's what the reason is. But, you know, I'm not one of those who worry about it. I'm not fussed about it. I enjoy doing it and we'll see what happens over the winter. Right, Black Bolt, misery loves company, Peter. Nothing you can do about them. Yeah, I know. Okay, Damien, right. There are many YouTubers, but my favorite person to watch and love the stories. Thank you, Damien. You have become a great friend over the years. I wish you a great adventure soon. And we still haven't met. Okay. Who else? Donald. Donald Person again. You make it to Thailand to live, yeah, probably a good place to live since this world is in chaos. Don't think you will get nuked there. God, don't even say it. Maybe it's time to go and stay. Do you know what? I'm 62. How long am I going to be healthy for? I've just had a load of tests done. You know, I had my heart monitored. They did kidneys, lungs. I even had the doctor stick his finger up my backside. That was about as much fun as watching a burning orphanage. You know, it was awful, but you got to get it done. It was to check my is it the pancreas? And he said, yeah, it's all normal. But then I said, look, can you do the blood test just to make sure, which he did. That come back normal. So I've got the A1 OK health check. I haven't got as far as I know, any cancer at the moment. I haven't got a heart condition. I haven't, my liver's functioning. God knows how, but it is. Cheers. So, you know, I have to make the decision. People write to me and say, you know what, aren't you a bit old to be going out to Thailand to live there? You haven't got this, you haven't got that. You know, what happens if this happens? But, you know, what's the point here? You know, I mean, yeah, England's safe and I can stay home and watch, you know, EastEnders every night, but, you know, it's not living, is it? Peter Cross, in a way, that is similar to Thailandbound. He runs his mouth in an interesting way. That's why I thought that was going to be an insult, Peter. I'll put that up there. When you said he runs his mouth, oh, here we go, another one. Right. Capital 17. Did the doctor find that tax money? What was that all about again? Do you know what? You know what my memory is like? I can't remember what I had for lunch today. Don't know. Wonder, Tommy and Guy. Wonder if there's a ladyboy psychologist. Oh, there must be, mustn't there? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it now. Yeah. David Lee. Doctor was checking. Yeah, your prostrate. That was it. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't that bad actually. It's a thought of it. You know, I don't want to bring down the tone of the stream here, but when you go to the doctor's surgery and you know you're going to have to drop your drawers, lay on a table, stick your backside out, and another guy is going to gel up and, you know, whack his finger up there. It's a terrifying thought, a horrible thought. And you think, oh, I just don't want to do that. And you know you have to do it, right? You have to do it because you want to find out. But you know what? He did it, and I thought, is that it? It was like nothing, you know? I mean, it was like a little bit of discomfort, nothing. It wasn't bad at all, but it's the anticipation of what's coming. Okay, Red Frank, Peter, you do good streams, mate. You have 40k subs. That's more than some football stadiums can fill. Yeah, thanks, Red Frank. I think people just, they want to, I don't know. I mean, I must be doing something right. Right, JB, chill vibes, haha, that's great. You're talking to someone else. Javier, Peter, I must confess that your live stream is pretty unique. We all like you because you're a humble and genuine. Oh, thank you, Javier. You don't really know me. I mean, it might be all an act. I might not be humble. I might turn this off and go and beat my wife up. You don't know. But no, I'm only joking. Thanks. Right. Theo Rackle, is it? Good evening to you, sir. I haven't seen you before. Been there, done that. LOL. Moved out in 2008. Moved back in 2017. Married one. Worked for one. Lovely daughter to show for it. Exchange rate is appalling now and getting worse. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're talking about the 90s, do you remember when it was 79 baht to the pound and a Heineken and a Gogo bar was 18? No, it had gone up. It was 20 baht. And a short time, now let me just think, when I first got there, a short bar and a Gogo bar, I'm sure it was 80 baht. I'm pretty sure it was 80 baht for a short, for the bar fine. Right, Michael again. Peter, it's only since COVID-19 YouTube has really kicked off for everyone. Now it's who can survive into the future. The thing is, Michael, you might not believe this, honestly. I'm really not in competition with anybody else. I get people who say, oh, why don't you do what he does? He's got 200,000 subscribers. Why don't you do what he does? You know, why don't you knock the stories on the head and do that? But, you know, if you try to imitate another person, you're not going to be as good as the original, are you? And you're going to come across as fake. So I don't know. When I started this, people might have looked at it and thought, this guy's crap, and I might not got anybody watching. But people are watching and it's going fairly well, and I hope it carries on going well while I'm in Thailand. You know, and I like doing it, and I think that comes across that I genuinely like doing it. I'm not false. So we'll see. Right, Mr. Dan, before it was 75 baht, it was 40 baht for many years. Yeah, some of the old military guys who were in the Vietnam War and they did R&R, they used to go to Phetchaburi Road, they write to me and they tell me some real interesting stuff about prices and hangouts and stuff. Yeah, I wish they would. Ian Roberts, I hear they are banning marijuana again. Yeah, it bloody stinks. Right, okay, what's next? Let's do the ladyboy competition. We'll do a few more comments so then I can... See, the good thing about the competition is I can do a cheeky one. While it's running, I can get the old beer out and fill up. I'm on this again. It's really good beer. It's from Aldi. I haven't mentioned it for a while. Saint Etienne. It's 4.8%, a 440 ml can. It's really a good tasting beer, and it's £2.99 for 4. Really good. Right, Mr. Dan says Asian financial crash led to the days of 70 baht, but for the years prior to that, it was only 40 baht. I never remember it being 40 baht in the early days. I always remember it being sort of between 60 and 80. But you know what my memory's like. Nom Yai Inspector, 2008, 64 baht, £1, 1,000 baht on walking, 1,000 baht long time on Walking Street. Yeah. The other thing is what you got to remember, guys. It is supply and demand, isn't it? That's a very cliche sound, but it is. And I don't want to be like, oh, in the good old days it was this. I'm just trying to relate back then to now, and this is fact. You know, when I was I would say especially in the mid 90s, around 94 to 96. When I feel like Walking Street really had its heyday, the Marina Disco was pumping. I mean, it was really the heyday of Walking Street. It's still good, but you had a few hundred go on to Walking Street, whereas now I read somewhere it's like 10,000 a day or something pre-COVID. And what you got to remember back then, there was no SkyTrain, there was no BTS. You know, it wasn't all over the internet. Now people watch YouTube channels. You know, and they've got 30 things you shouldn't do in Thailand, the best restaurants in Bangkok, the worst restaurants in Bangkok, the price of late. You've got it all out there at the tap of a keyboard, haven't you? It never used to be like that. You know, you go to the airport and you pick up a copy of the Lonely Planet guide, and it didn't tell you anything about the bar girls or short time price or anything like that, right? So, you know, I recently uploaded a video that I did 3 years ago. It was pre-COVID, Walking Street with some music and everything. But you see in that video, you see bunches of young guys. They're like 23, 24, and they're there with money in their pockets because these guys have been to Thailand once, they've watched YouTube channels, and they just think, hey, what's the point in going out to a boring pub in the UK, having a kebab on the way home, probably get some trouble with somebody. So what they do now, they save their money, they do overtime, they go down the gym and work out, and they go to Thailand and have a blast, and who can blame them? But the point of this story is it never used to be like that, because all these guys, they didn't know about how much fun Thailand was. So now much more people are flooding into Thailand. I mean, you've always had a lot of tourists, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The Pattaya crowd. So a lot more people are flooding into Pattaya, Thailand. And of course, it's supply and demand, isn't it? And the more customers there are, the more they can put their prices up. If there's not many customers around, then obviously it's bargain basement galore, isn't it? But, you know, at the moment, it's, you know, more and more people are going to be pouring in. You've seen that bit of news I read to you earlier, up to 10 million visitors this year. You know, so it's not going to get any cheaper, is it? The thing that worries me over the next 3 months now, two things worry me right now. Not worry me where I can't sleep at night, but they concern me. That's a better word. They concern me. One is, because I'm going out for such a long time, is the pound going to crash? In other words, you know, in next month, am I going to end up getting 35 baht to the pound? Because that'll really put a nail in my coffin. And the second thing is everything that's going on with Russia and Ukraine at the moment. You know, he's just remobilizing for the first time since the Second War. That is a concern. I'm not worried about it, and I don't want to turn this into a political speech. But, you know, when you're going away and leaving your family for such a long time, you do, these things do cross your mind, don't they? So I don't know how we got onto this subject. Let's do the ladyboy competition. Lighten up a little bit. Okay. Just see if there's anything else I've missed. I've done everything. I've done the grope in Japanese. I've done the lady monger minute. We've done the Hong Kong ladyboy and the elephant. Right. Now, the last competition of the night. Do I need to explain it? You know what it is, guys. One real lady, the rest are ladyboys. Just tell me which one is the lady. Okay, let's get straight into it. Let's see who's right and let's see who's wrong. Barry from EastEnders, no. Simon Goodison, no. Will Richardson, no. Up to Me, no. Thai Rackle, is it? No. David, yeah, well done to you, mate. You got it. Clive, you are pissed now. Yeah. Paul Harrison, yes. Nomyai Inspector, yes. Alexander D. Great, no. Only in Thailand, no. Ross Cook, no. Capio 17, no. Tom, no. World Traveller Forever, no. Dean Alexander, no. Paul Cole, no. Schwartz, is it? No. Vlad the Inhaler, no. Yoss Travels, no. Marky Mark, no. Richard Meller, yes, you got it. Well done. Dave Stewart, no. Real Space Hobo, no. Red Farang, no. Dr. Inviso, no. And a lot of people think it's number 7. Silver Fox, no. Jolly Fox, no. Heck T Daddy, no. Thailand Found 7, please. No. Mara, no. Mark Hanley, no. Javier, no. Log Dropper, Log Dropper, dear, oh dear. No. Richard Songer, no. Alex Curtin, no. Have we got any more right answers? Jeff Say, no. Elfsons, I just said Elson's Barmy Army, no. Nick S, no. Barang, no. Pesky McNuggets, no. Good to see you in Pesky McNuggets. Barber's Fort, is it? No. Owl Bomb, no. Crocodile Sunday, no. Ellesmere, no. MacTie, no. Ian Roberts, no. JB says, I forgot what we're meant to be doing. Yeah. Big C, no. Stephen Bedford, no. Jan K, yes. Peekaboo, yes. Richard Woolley, hello, Mongers and Peter. Yeah, hi. Alexander the Great, no. Edward Cooper, only one answer, mate, so I'm not going to read any of them out. Christian, no. Innovations Reality, yes. And last but not least, 4K Chill Vibes, Wild Guess. Well, well done on your wild guess. Let's put you out of your misery. Quite a few of you said number 7, and I thought that was an obvious ladyboy. I put that one in there because I thought, well, that will narrow it down to 7 rather than 8. Surprised. I have to try a bit harder next week. Okay, just before we go, going to say hello to someone. Is that Mario Herrera? Is it? I will take the bird with a mole behind your head. Okay, that wasn't the one I was going to put up. Adrian Ford says number 5 was climbing out the window earlier. Lovely. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. Mario Herrera. Yeah, Sawadee Krap, Peter. Yeah, good to have you in. Late, but better than never. Paul Harrison says it's a lot easier to spot them when you're there. Absolutely. Only in Thailand says cruiser. I'm a loser. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's very, very difficult from photographs. Will Richardson, number 8 has been in one of your camps before. That's how I got it. I don't think so. Maybe, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Don't forget, I've been doing this competition for over a year now. I can't remember. I've got a folder in there. It's like 01, 02. It's about that long now. Tommy on Guy, I should be right a time or 2. Real Space Hobo, I demand a retrial. 8 was hiding her face. No, but she had the old Bristols out. That was a giveaway. Real ones. JB, never mind Thailandbound. I love to leave number 2 wheelchair bound. Okay. Right. Clive. Okay, we're not going to talk about Putin. Right, guys, it's way gone 2.5 hours now. I'm going to say thank you to the moderators in the background there, Frankel and Damon. I'm going to say thank you to all the guys who left a super sticker or a super chat. Thank you for that. I'll be back on Sunday for another live stream. There's no guest this Sunday, but I've got a surprise for you next Sunday. I've got 5 stories for you in the morning. I will save them to the morning. They're very, very good stories as always. So once again, guys, thanks to each and every one of you for joining me tonight. I'll see you on Sunday, 8 p.m. as usual. Until then, have a great weekend, and we'll all catch up soon.